go then. Trash to Cash podcast, episode number 100 and 2 additional numbers. How's it going? I'm
I was
going
to say you don't.
It's over 100.
With me as always is Kevin with his hard whiskey, and then Carrie down below with his whiskey nipples. That's
Zero
actually,
sugar cream soda, like an adult.
How you guys doing? I
It's
feel like I
nice
haven't
to
seen
see
you
y'all
in
back.
2.5 weeks. Yeah,
I know.
It's been crazy.
We've been gone. I got home last night, man.
Carrie, let's start with you. Okay, so we've been traveling. Background context. I was in Connecticut. Carrie was everywhere, and Kevin was just sitting under the tree.
Kevin was harassing people at the Bedford Blimpies.
I was traveling too. I went to Georgia.
Oh yeah, you went to the Peaches to Beaches garage sale.
Then
so
I
everyone's
went
been
somewhere
traveling.
else, and Turner's had tournaments, and Reagan's had tournaments. I've been all over.
People are demanding segments. So segment number 1 is weekly recap. What you've been up to. Carrie, go ahead and tell us about your travel.
Weekly.
We won't interrupt you at all.
Well, it's been 2 weeks that I've been gone, but so I went to the Boss Reseller Remix, and I spoke eloquently about the anatomy of a yard sale.
That seems like a dumb topic. Did it actually work out?
Do you want me to be honest about the prepreparation for this?
We already know
Rod
the preparation.
Rod did everything. I know.
Rod did
know
it.
the
No. What's special about me? If I do want to toot my own horn, and I do love to do that. 3 degrees I have, guys. I didn't study at all. I studied a lot.
All useless.
That's true. That is true. He had a whole thing prepped, and then he really took over, and then I just chimed in. It was awesome. It's the perfect thing. I just chimed. Are you all right? Is somebody?
I'm good.
Me?
Someone's
No, like the lights went out.
Yeah, I'm out in the.
So we did that. I winged it, and I winged it successfully because a lot of people were like, "That was really good," and I'm like, "Perfect. That's what I want."
Were you the guy who, when they worked all together, that just chimed in with your, in high school or college
little
on the
quippy
project?
moments?
You just chimed in.
You always got to have the one super, it's not even smart, because I feel like I was smart to a certain degree, but the one person who's willing to do the work. And the one special skill I have is, like, I'm not scared of speaking in front of people, or, like, obviously being super prepared. So I think it went well, and because also I know the topic of a yard sale. I've done them for 10 plus years.
What is the premise of the Boss Reseller Remix? So it's educational?
Yeah, it's educational. So, like,
and
you
would
just
you
go
say
in
it was
and
the same as every year prior? Was it unique? Did they change the venue, or is it exactly the same?
There's new speakers, same venue. To be fair, it was like 4 days. I was there for 1 day.
They keep coming back to the dried up well known as American Arbitrage. That's got to be the last year, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, this is the only year I've spoke. I didn't speak the years I lived there. Kevin spoke 1 year. That was terrible.
Oh,
Kevin, the 1 year Kevin did it. Oh my gosh, dude! It was great.
Carrie,
Everybody had a
I'm
nap.
down there speaking, and I look up in the balcony, and Carrie's, doing the Carrie thing. I'm like, dude, give me a little bit of love down here, man. Come on.
Nah, dude, I
were
cheered.
the eBay employees there? Were they upset that I quit eBay?
Oh my gosh,
that was the
Did
top.
they have
like,
a table set up?
Like they were like,
thing?
he's gonna come crawling back. I just know it. No,
they're
allegedly.
oh my gosh.
You may
2 weeks, 10 days, and Dave's crawling back to eBay.
It was cool. It was, some hobnobbing and talking to people, and it was fun. And I've known a lot of people. It's different year to year. The first year I went there, if you guys remember, I had freshly
to get in.
No, the first year I went there, I had talked some trash. Like, lovingly and jokingly.
Because they didn't invite you.
Yeah, well, but that was not cool. Like, I mean, like, I was joking around, but it wasn't taken that way, and I had to make amends for that. And then, but no, it was a fun event. It was mostly networking for me because I was just hanging out with people. So.
Yeah, I like to imagine that eBay did a little speaking moment, and they said, how to get ADH Dave back, and that was kind of the whole topic. There was a roundtable discussion, and that's what I'm assuming happened.
Ego.
Yeah, they're gonna have to turn off Dibdit for that to happen, because Dibdit is a gift that keeps giving.
You can buy it out.
Is the future.
Hey, we're open to
$50,
offers.
you can have it.
Dude, no, we could ask more than 50 at this point.
$50?
We could get 50.
50?
I
we can
offered
get 50 a piece, bro.
You guys. Didn't I offer 1,000?
You lowballed that. You lowballed us.
You said 100,000.
Hey,
what is that? The cat?
No,
the
I did not
here.
say that. But the $1,000 offer is still on the table.
You had it. You had the cash on you too. You're like 100,000 each.
I know Carrie.
Hey,
How
Carrie,
many Starbucks
the problem,
did you get for
we
this,
almost
Don?
said yes. We almost said yes. But then Kevin's like, "You're gonna have to launder it," and we're like, We don't know how to do that. We don't want to launder the money. Like, well, Carrie, speaking of that, you saw the movie I'm referencing. Okay, it was with the kid from The Boys.
Oh yeah, the
He has to
Novocaine.
launder the money,
What was
yeah.
it? Yeah, that
You
was
didn't
a
love
part
it.
of.
I liked it a lot.
I thought it was
fun.
like okay. This
I
gentleman,
had
Jack
such high hopes for
Quaid.
this
So
podcast.
yeah, Jack Quaid, who's believe it or not, the son of both Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid.
He plays
So-
the same character in everything he's in. He's always this guy.
Yeah, and he was
Like,
just
just
like
kinda
what I didn't
moody.
like about it was like it just was. I mean,
Wimpy.
he can't feel pain, but he was like wimpy and weird about it. Like if you can't feel pain, I'm putting my hand on the stove and I'm looking at people.
The sticking
to
his
see their
hand into
reactions.
the deep fryer to retrieve the weapon, and then the weapon
Nobody
fires
cares.
perfectly
Nobody's
after
seen this.
sitting in the hot oil seems a
Yeah,
little
there
bit
was a lot of
far-fetched.
stuff. It's because the premise itself is far fetched, but there was a lot of stuff. I'm like, he would be passed out if
Let's
he
get
can't feel
back to
pain. He
Dave
lost all his
crawling back
blood.
to
No.
eBay.
Some people would. Okay, we'll get off this topic, but comment below if you know weaponry. Like, if you put it in 500-degree oil, ain't it exploding or shooting or something? I don't understand how it didn't do anything.
It
I
had
don't
the
know.
safety on
heat?
though. It
Yeah, but
had
the
the
heat,
safety.
wouldn't the heat make the explosion of the
I
bullet?
don't know. I don't know anything about guns.
Carrie, let's do it. You live in Bunnell. There's bullets everywhere. We'll just
True.
we'll just go heat up some oil and throw the bullets in and see what
I
happens.
was in Hampton, Virginia this week, which I think Amy's down there somewhere. I think Beach by Pete. And there, everywhere we pulled up, there was a sign that reminded you to lock your car and secure your valuables. On every place we would go, Cracker Barrel.
Is that a tourist area?
I guess, yeah, sort
Yeah,
of.
it's interesting. Okay, so Carrie, you went to the Boss Reseller Remix, and then
I went to Utah, spent some time with family. Then I went cross country, got stuck in a blizzard in Nebraska. My tire blew in Texas when we were in Vegas. I'll be honest.
This
We got a
is why
call
people
from.
fly.
I got a call
this
from.
call. Why did I
yeah.
have to be the one to make this call?
You made this call. I got woke up with Dawn in tears, obviously, because our dog died
awful.
on the trip, a Duke, which is
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah, so we're
Such a good
still.
dog.
Yeah, he was such a good. He
Yeah.
was 15 years old. He was an old guy. He was such a good guy. But we, yeah.
parents
So we
were
were
dog
worried
sitting.
about. Yeah, we.
And
yeah,
they
your
called
parents
me and
were.
they're like, Dave, this is really bad. I was like, oh no, what happened? And yeah, so then I had to relay the
So-
news. It's not good, but he was.
Yeah,
he
it
was
was
an
it
old
was really
dog. He was a good
surreal
dog.
too, because like we were literally at the halfway point, 2,000 plus miles away. And we it was surreal until we got here last night. We're
Yeah, it
it's
probably
weird.
hit home when you got home, right?
The cats are the cats are different now because the one that was quiet is picking on the other one now because the other one was friends with Duke and I guess didn't get picked on before. So it's
It's
a
like a
little
whole
bit
dynamic shift.
the
in the
dynamic
house.
shifted a lot in the house and
Carrie is now the true beta of the house.
I
When I
think
got
I'm
home-
officially prime top beta. Is that right?
Top, yeah.
All right, so I walk in and just solve this mystery for me. I walk into the house today. We were gone for a couple days. The cats, we obviously leave the cats. So a bowl of cat food, a clear dish, was turned completely upside down, and the cat food was still in it. Tell me how
that
that
means
happened.
they flipped it really fast, like you do the pull of the tablecloth.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Yeah.
just like, "Psh," and it was like, "Psh."
You might want to
over
bring your
and-
cat
yeah.
to visit Chris Angel. They might be
Yeah,
able
you
to
could
talk about
probably
something.
get him a
they
spot
might
in
have
Vegas.
They might exactly might
Ever
be able
since they
to.
had to get rid of those big white tigers, you're looking for new
Exactly.
acts.
Which I'm thinking there should be some cat
Less
food on the
dangerous.
ground or something. But then I thought they probably ate all the cat
Listen,
food that was around it, and so
I
everything
love-
that was in it stayed in it.
We all have cat stories. Annabelle went into the bathroom last night, and Hazel, our big fluffy cat, was peeing in the sink.
Hey man,
Pee in the
that's
sink.
not the worst spot to do it.
Hey, I
reminds
got a
me of
easier to
cat that
clean.
pees in the toilet.
Meet the Parents or whatever. Yeah, the cat peeing in the toilet. Wait, you have a cat that pees in the
Yeah.
toilet?
We have a
Boots
cat. We have a cat that always double deckers. Always uses the it moves the tank and then it goes
Upper decker.
inside.
That's an upper decker.
upper
That's a
decker.
double
Double
decker.
decker.
No,
Is
it
it
does
double
both.
decker or
It
double
does
decker?
both.
Oh, it
Man,
does both.
I
Does
have
half
this
up top and
list.
half
How
down
far
below.
Are we in this?
Wait,
9
we're
minutes.
not done, Kevin. Listen,
No,
we got
come
plenty
on.
of time.
I got
We got
some
What did
plenty
you
of time.
do, Kevin?
Fine.
What's
We're gonna
happening
go
on
to Kevin.
eBay?
I
Apparently,
held
that's
down-
important.
I held down, dibbed it. Everybody. It wasn't just you guys. Both of you leave. Rod is gone. Everybody's gone.
Yeah, everybody's gone.
Mike's on
Tim
the
had a
boat all
baby.
day. Tim had a baby.
Congratulations, Tim.
All these, and like, what am I supposed to do here? I got to hold it down. I think I did an okay job.
Good.
All right,
Good.
go
I'm
ahead.
glad you did.
Yeah, we.
Well,
I mean, we
I
would
was
beg
just
to
gonna-
differ, but yeah.
Yeah, we don't think you did a great job, but you,
You
did
didn't
a
do
job.
great. You did.
did
You were
it.
there.
You showed up. You showed up to work, which is more than we can say
Sometimes-
for Carrie and most of his past jobs.
Oh,
That's
don't
true.
you
You got
can't
there.
say bad stuff about Carrie. Dawn comes after you. Don't say
She does.
anything
She
mean
does.
about
She does.
Carrie.
She gets aggressive. Yeah. Well, speaking of bad
She doesn't
talk
listen to the
about people,
podcast anymore.
Not
It wasn't-
anymore.
it wasn't
she
really
she
negative
tuned out
at
at like
all.
episode 12.
Because I just
That's since
simply
Kevin
mentioned
came.
something that I've said that Dave says every week on the podcast in a chat, and I felt attacked.
oh, Dawn was going heavy on
Half-
Kevin. Dawn was
I'm
going
like,
so
Dave
heavy
says
on
this
Kevin.
every 3 minutes. How come I can't
Dawn-
say it one time?
Dawn
Half
was
the
going
trip
so-
was me trying to calm Dawn down about something.
Dawn was going so hard on Kevin, and like I was like piling on a little bit to like ridiculous because I just saw her doing it. I was like, yeah, Kevin, you suck, basically. I was like, oh, and he's got a micro penis.
Yeah, we just add that. Yeah, that's like the least of
Not
what he
that
was
that's a
being
bad thing
called.
if you have one of those
yeah, if you
guys,
have a
it's
micro
okay.
penis, welcome
If
to
you
the club.
also additionally have
Look,
one, we're fine with it.
It's all good, man.
Wait a minute.
Don't tell nobody.
Kevin also is in the club.
I'm not-
Hey, take this hoodie off. Talk amongst yourselves.
Gosh, nobody listens. I hear
Segue.
nobody listens to this, Gary.
I
hear
don't know
this
how
podcast
anybody's
is
listening.
Done. It's
Yeah,
done.
I think it might be. I mean, we had a pretty good run though. We've been doing this for how
I know.
long?
I've been battling it.
7
I've got
years?
all these topics here. I've been
What are we doing?
battling it, and it's impossible to battle.
Well, let's
so I'm
talk.
just gonna
Let's
give
talk
in.
about reselling.
No,
well,
we're
listen.
not done with trip talk. Hold on, we've got segments here. Stop trying to
Oh,
move the show
segment.
along.
Sorry.
The
Kevin,
demand.
Focus.
tell us about your reseller yard sale 100-mile thing. Did you see
Oh,
Philly
Peaches.
Flipper? What happened?
Peaches. No, I didn't see Paul. I
I
saw
don't think you
bearded. I saw Julian and Kayla down there.
I heard he
bearded
killed it on a
Thrift machine.
storage unit recently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He definitely did.
What
So
did he
talk to
buy?
them
Because
for a
I
few
didn't
minutes.
actually research it at all.
I didn't watch.
That's
the
literally
video.
all I heard. Do you know anything about what he got?
$60,000 worth of stuff. That's about the extent of it. Artwork.
Like 60,000
and all
eBay
kinds of-
dollars or Dibdit dollars?
dollars.
Are we talking about eBay dollars though? Because most of the time when people say eBay dollars, it's money that they could make, but it sits on the shelf and it never gets listed, and they really make like
Potential.
$12.
Carrie, you ticked people off last week. You're
Did he?
like,
What did he
oh
do?
yeah.
I forgot
Yeah,
what I
can't
said
remember
3
the
weeks
quote.
ago. What did I say?
Oh, somebody was up in arms about you saying that eBay is a dying platform. If you
Yeah,
want
it
to list
is.
stuff on a dying
It is.
platform,
It is.
or whatever.
For the
It's
person
not.
who was upset about it. Look, it's hard sometimes to face reality and the truth, but
I
it's okay.
defended you.
You
I'm
could
like-
sink with the ship if you choose. You could
Amazon
Captain
may be
Smith
the
it if you
sinking
like.
ship.
That's a
Listen,
Titanic reference.
I've got nothing
So-
but good news lately, and I always get good and bad news from people. All right, peaches to beaches. So went down there with Mike, which is always an experience.
Yeah.
We went down. Do you remember? Because we went last year, and we were up somewhere in the middle, if you remember. And there was a lot of stuff in both directions. We did okay. We did okay. But where we went this year was supposedly where last year was amazing. And we got down there, I'm like, dude, we're going to cover this in a day. There's not that much here. We did really
been-
well. I did really well.
You haven't
Mike
said
did
anything.
well.
You've been talking 20 seconds, and you've just talked
I gotta
about
give
directions.
context, Carrie.
This is a lot of context.
You remember where you're at last year? Would you
Yeah,
remember
but-
people talking about how good it was down by the beach?
Yeah,
Well, we
that's
went
true.
to the beach this year.
Okay.
Ah.
You could have started
And
with that.
So that's what I said. We went to the beach this year, and there wasn't that many sales. So it's
So
like,
you're saying
okay,
we did right by starting at the peach. Start
Yeah.
at the peach, not the beach.
No,
Exactly.
not necessarily, because I did good down there. Matter of fact, I probably did better down there
I get-
with a lot less sales. But what we ended up doing on Saturday, because we picked early on Thursday before the sale started, and then we picked Friday, and then on Saturday, Mike's like, let's go 25 miles down the road to a community sale, because we've already picked all this. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And we did good down there, too.
Awesome. I really am glad your part of the story is over. Okay, so anyways, I went to Connecticut, Carrie.
Yeah.
He's just
yeah, you,
waiting to talk about himself. I had a lot more to say, but
okay, say
I'll
more.
well, you
just-
didn't say
Kevin.
anything in particular. You
There's
said
a
a
lot
bunch
of
of
great death pile stories, like how
Well,
he
tell that. That's
shakes
more
the
interesting.
room with his snoring. Like you're
Oh,
talking
yes.
to
no,
him.
it's crazy.
You're talking to him. Like we're having a conversation, which I always pay attention to people when they're talking to me, so I'm paying attention to him really, really, well. And in the middle of a sentence, he starts snoring. That's the end of it. He's done.
That's like super old man
That's
stuff.
it. I'm like, what are you
Like
doing, dude?
70-year-old man stuff right
And so
there.
I stay
like
up and
that.
work for 2-3 more hours, get up in the morning, work in the morning,
I like
he's
to
just
imagine
sleeping.
that he was big timing you and didn't get tired, but get tired of you. And he just fake snored. He's just like, I don't really want
Yeah,
to
he's
tell
the
Kevin
one
about this
friend
story.
of yours that doesn't want to say it to your face, so he just starts
he
snoring because he doesn't want to
pretends
deal
to
with
sleep.
it.
He left the last night. He's like, I'm getting in there working and whatever. He's
Dude,
laying in bed.
which
He's
is-
like, I'm out.
that
I'm like,
is-
dude, what do you mean you're out? He's like, you need to sleep tonight. I'm like, that's not
That
why you're leaving.
Is telling because he literally drove through
Mm-hmm.
a tornado vortex where there was like 600 tornadoes just to get away from Kevin.
Yep.
So I don't know what Kevin was up
Yep.
to. I know last time I went to Peaches to Beaches with Kevin, he broke my car keys. It cost me $300 to replace them. So I
Dude, your
don't,
keys were
there's a
broken
few.
already.
I don't
I
believe
a
will
few-
go to my grave with this story. I look at the key before I even use it. I'm like, what is this? It's
Well,
falling
if you
apart.
had looked at it, you'd think, oh, maybe I'll be careful. But no, Kevin was just like a freaking Wolverine, just ripping it in half. And I was just, if you had just waited,
He's
I was
tiny but strong.
mid-wipe, Kevin. If you had just let me finish wiping, I could have
Dude,
come out and moved my own
you
car.
handed me the keys.
No, you took them while I was pooping.
No, I didn't.
That's
The problem is with
100% you did.
Dave. The problem is with Dave. You're always like within 5 minutes of having wiped
It's
or about to wipe.
I'm always pooping. I'm always mid-poop, so I can guarantee you on this one. And
Dave
it's got to
holds
be Angel
grudges,
Soft
apparently.
toilet paper. Yes.
He does. Dave
I'm not
does.
ever giving you the $300.
No, I know. And
It's
once you
not
do,
ever
I'll stop
happening.
holding the grudge. Actually, I don't even want the money. I want the offer. I don't want the money. I just want the
I'm not-
offer.
You want to refuse the offer.
I want a DocuSign document saying
It was
I'm
going to
willing
break
give you the
within
$300.
days. Within days.
No, it had been like that for a year, and I was careful with it.
Year. Okay. Oh,
I hope
Wait,
that's
I gotta
orange
be
juice you're drinking, by the way.
it is with a
orange
little
vodka.
Sailor Jerry.
Okay.
Sailor Jerry. I don't know who that is. Anyway, so Kevin went to Peaches to Beaches, and then he sold a bunch on eBay. Ben was talking about how ridiculous it is, how much you
Mike-
sell on the
I
Locker Room
can't
podcast.
What?
He was, he was
I'm like, you watched the right video, Ben.
Is that what Locker Room does now? They just talk about other people's sales?
Yeah.
They actually were. The
was
latest
a- yeah, it
episode
was
was
a-
pretty good. Yeah,
yeah, it
actually,
wasn't
it was pretty
bad.
good. But they were talking about how Kevin like always has 20 sales when everyone else has like 0, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, listen.
Because Kevin
and
has people listing for him.
No, I said.
No,
I
he has
do-
people, viewers buying from him. Is
Oh,
what he
my
has.
gosh. I have.
Both.
They were
I
all
have-
orders from Paige.
I do 3 videos a week, so people have this assumption that 20. That's most time is 2 days of sales. It's 2 days.
That's
not
not 10
one.
a day.
Well, that's.
I sold nothing on eBay for 14 days now. 30 days.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
You got to come back. All the reports are how good it is. I've heard. I mean, look, there's still people are going to say
To
it's
eBay?
terrible. It's terrible.
Are you just
Dude,
living
my
off
sales
Ritz
are up
crackers at this point? Are you
21%.
okay?
I had a 12.
Yeah, but
let me
Kevin,
see.
half of them are going to come back for a refund.
I sold
and it's going to be a
$1,200
different
in
item
one
than
day.
you sent.
No,
And you had to promote it at 80%, so you lost $17.
I didn't promote. I had a $1,200 day. I'm up 21% in the last 31 days. I'm feeling good about this. I'm telling
I
you.
want to re-emphasize.
I'm
Can I
feeling good about it.
re-emphasize? Can I re-emphasize to the person who made that comment last time? eBay is dying. I want
Yes,
to re-emphasize it. I'm
dead.
doubling, tripling down.
I will say that I did also
isn't.
have mixed
It
in a $115 day, so it's
Oh,
not
wow.
all peaches and beaches. All right.
That was a
There you
dumb dad.
It's not
joke
all
right there.
cheeks and dollars.
Mike,
Okay.
speaking of peaches, wait, you can tell your
Mike
story in a
Mecca?
minute. No, Death Pile is, I was like, hey, I'm going to pay for it because he's driving all around, spending all the gas money. And we go and we eat a nice little romantic seafood dinner. And something comes on the table. I'm like, I didn't order this. He's like, I ordered it. Conch fritters.
Oh, he
Conch
always gets
fritters.
those. Every time I go out to eat with him, he
Oh.
orders those. And he always tries me to get me to eat them, and I'm like, no, I do not want conch fritters.
I'm like, what is
Thank you
this?
very much.
Is that like scallops? Is it like
I
the thing
believe
in the
it's a
shell?
shell. I don't know. Some shell.
there meat in it?
item. Yeah, it's
Flirty
like a meaty
with
thing.
the waitress and stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some
Tell
it's
him that's
fish
called
tacos.
micro cheating, is what that is.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell him next time I see him. He's a
Well,
micro
nobody
cheater.
would cheat with Mike. Come on.
For a bigger tip, they might flirt with him. I don't know.
I was paying. It was going to be a 20%er, you know.
Okay.
I like how he lies
Okay.
about the percentage. You know it's 10% when
So
you're
Kevin's
tipping. But
killing it on eBay. Kevin, let's take a
I'm
moment.
not
a brief
killing it.
moment.
It's just
A
I'm
brief moment.
feeling good
how
about
much are you making,
Let's hear your
Kevin,
best
on
sale.
eBay?
Let's hear your best sale
it.
of the week.
Ooh,
Since we were
alright,
gone
I
or
get it.
whatever.
My
Yeah,
best
let's
sale of
hear
the
it.
week. Stig Lindberg signed vase.
Vase.
Gustafsberg Studio, Sweden.
Geestisberg.
Bought this in a lot for 20
Stig
bucks.
Geisberg.
Bought this
Huh?
in a lot.
I bought it in a lot, so there was 5 different pieces. What? What?
No,
am I missing
use the
here?
appropriate Dutch accent when you talk about Stieg Leikman or whatever his name is.
Sweden.
Oh, Swedish. Yeah.
Swedish.
It's $700 plus shipping.
Woo!
Yeah.
How much you pay for it? You said you bought it in a load?
I would have. I bought 5 different pieces, so let's say $5.
Wait, so you paid $5? Or are you just going to say that's
Well,
the weirdest
I bought 5
calculation.
pieces.
I bought 5 things. Let's just say $5.
In this scenario where I'm lying, we're going to say $5.
No.
Exactly what's happening.
600.
I told you already. I bought 5 pieces for $20. So you
So
could
4.
say 4.
That's
Well, you could say
you can't.
4
It is 4.
No,
you
but
have
not
to say
really.
4.
because I
you
bought
sold the
3 of
rest?
them. Carrie, I bought the
Oh.
first part of the deal was 3 for 10, and the second part of the deal was 2 for 10, and that was part of the 2 for 10. So
Okay, so
Have you
$5.
sold the other 4?
okay, fair.
I have sold 3. I've sold 3 now. So $49 for a set of 2 that were similar, and then $700 for this one. Have another listed for $150, and well, you asked, and then I have
know, and I
another one
regret
listed
it.
for $15.
Can you tell the viewers, how do they find these? How do they know they've got a Stieg what's-his-butt?
I'm with picker on. Oh, I don't know. I had no idea how I found them. I just
He
picked
was
them
just
up,
gonna
turned
do
them
a
over. I'm
plug.
like, that has a signature on it. I'm
And
gonna buy
had
it.
the name Stieg what's-his-butt
But
on the bottom.
I couldn't even read it. I had to go to Reseller Information Network one day. I'm like, hey, what
Heard
is
of that.
this? Can y'all
Shout out.
whatever? And they helped me out. A viewer and Tim helped me out.
Nice.
And I got the information. I'm like, Stig? Yeah, that might be Stig. You know, you can't read this stuff. And I looked it up, and it was a perfect match. Listed for $700. I had zero idea what
Here's
it was worth.
an idea for the future.
And it
Put
sold
that
full
puppy
price.
on Dibdit, you get about $7.
Yeah,
For the future. Not
But,
a bad
yeah.
idea.
yeah, it's true.
What are you going to
You
do
could
if you
get
come
15.
across something like that, Dave?
I'm gonna put it on Dibdit for $1
Yeah.
because I do $1
Listen,
auctions.
I've been sourcing
Yeah.
like crazy over there. I've been selling stuff I buy over there like crazy. I need to buy
Good.
from you more often.
Yeah, well, right now I got nothing, and I was thinking about that today. Actually, I was having like an existential crisis as I was walking around my town. I was like, I need to like
that's what
not
happened.
just buy Dibdit stuff. Like I need to buy Dibdit stuff, but I need to buy like I'm selling on eBay because I think that's what people
Yeah.
really want.
Yeah,
They want
yeah.
me to be buying not just pop culture, but whatever
Oh,
I
you
would
mean for
normally
your
sell on
videos
eBay.
or your Dibdit buyers?
No, for my buyers.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
want
I
to buy
agree.
stuff that has
Yeah.
a good sale
They
through
want
rate
to
on
make
eBay, so
money
you can be
off
the
of you.
middleman.
Yeah, so that's
course.
I need to focus
Yeah.
on that and get out of the mindset of
You
like
cannot
the whatnot
lose.
mindset, which was like buy every
No.
plush, right?
No,
It's not
you
that.
need
It's
you
gotta
need to
mix
buy you need to buy the same stuff and then just realize you're not going to be the one posting it on eBay. If
Yeah.
you're buying good stuff, it'll sell for good money. It will, and
Well-
you'll make a profit if you don't overpay.
I went to Doo-Doo's or whatever it's called, Carrie, that place I've told you about a few times, the thrift shop right near your house.
Why did you? Oh,
I'm
oh,
sorry. I had
You could have muted it too, though.
I need.
No, I like that.
could've,
Kevin has
and
to
I
cough,
coughed.
so he turns his camera off and doesn't mute his mic.
I wasn't planning on coughing.
think
I
he
was
was-
just planning.
Do you think
on
he was
changing
tweaking
the
the nips during
No,
that?
what he was trying to put 17 Zin in his mouth, and he
Exactly.
No, I was
He
trying to
did.
get 17 out. I needed a new one.
Anyways, Carrie, I went there and I was picking up something, and when I was there, I found like an old vintage, like 1950s baseball glove for $5.
Yes.
And I grabbed that, and so I did a little bit of sourcing. I did a little.
But here's
tiny
the
bit of
thing,
sourcing
man.
today.
If you were buying the same way, as long as you're paying correctly, you don't want to pay $100 maybe for something that goes for $2 on eBay. But if
Yeah.
you're buying a $5 glove that say goes for $70, $80, it's still a buy for Dibdit because you'll probably get
100%.
20, 30, 40,
That's
maybe
exactly-
50.
So
You're
that's
still profitable.
this was part of the existential crisis. Is what triggered it later in the day. Is like I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is cool. This is like $40 to $50 on eBay. I might be able to get 15 to 20. I can't pay more than 5. And then I asked the price, and I'm like, if she says 15 or 20, I can't buy it. Whereas at a yard sale, I might consider it for eBay. But I was in my brain like anything over 5, I'm not doing it.
All right.
so
And
it's
unlike the
it's an
person on
interesting thing.
eBay, unlike the person on eBay that has that listed for 14 months and finally takes an
I'm
offer
actually
at
gonna
half
sell
off,
mine.
you're going to actually sell it and flip the money over like 7 times in between.
That's what I was thinking when you bought that Smurf Monopoly. What did you pay and what did it go for? I'm
I
curious.
paid 40, got 200,
Got 200 for that.
something like that, or 180 or
Wow.
160. Yeah,
Very nice.
it was like
Very
a $400 game on eBay.
Was it sealed?
Yeah, it was brand new but not sealed.
Okay,
It was
so
brand
maybe
new, like it still
content
wasn't
sealed?
punched out. Yeah, content sealed. So either way, I think I got one. I'd have to go check to be exact, but it was,
Hey, Carrie.
it was high ones.
I sold something I think came from Dawn. I sold a trash can. Did you remember Dawn picking up a trash can on your way to 127
Yeah.
last year?
Yes. Yeah.
Keller Charles Metal Tin sold for $45 plus
Yeah,
shipping.
Dawn loves. She loves, and I mean, I get it. I like them too. We used to have them in our shops back in the day, but like the vintage mid-century modern, like little mini tin and metal trash cans, they sell well.
Hey, I had a lost
Easy to ship
item,
if they're not too big too.
which I don't have very often. You know, where you can't find an item, something that Dave does used to do all the time.
Used to do.
Probably still
Used to.
does on Dibdit, but probably not as much. And I was fortunate that it was. Have you ever had this happen, where it was a multi-order, so you didn't have to cancel the order? You could ship it still and just deduct that amount from it and talk to them and whatever. That was a blessing.
Nice. Yeah, that is nice. Well, okay, so with the trip, oh gosh, Kevin.
I
threw
did
me
something that Carrie would never do at a sale. I paid $30 for a DVD VCR combo, Carrie.
Yeah.
$30.
I wouldn't, yeah.
Carrie would never
What's
do
it
it.
They would
sell
if
for?
they gave. I would take $30 from the seller to go throw it in the trash for them.
Yeah, what's
Well,
it sell
listen,
for?
it was a Sony D3. Well, what it doesn't matter, but it had a remote with it, and it was pristine. So I'm like, you know what, this is gonna be good. So I bought it, and I immediately brought it home and listed it, and it sold for $100 in a day, plus shipping.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Carrie,
worth it.
did you go to thrift stores on your trip? Did you do
Yeah,
like a
we went
sourcing
to
thing?
a few. I did a lot of card shops. I have a lot of
Okay.
card shopping footage. We went to like thrift stores in Dallas, a little bit in Utah, Vegas. I think we did a little bit.
Saw one with Rod.
Do you have like a find of the thrift stores? Like, what was the best thing Dawn
Oh
found?
yeah, like
Obviously,
in
you didn't find
Dallas.
anything.
No, I actually found probably the best stuff at the thrift store.
Oh, did you? What'd you find?
Thank you. I found some like cool vintage like T-shirts, like early '90s, like New York Mets vintage, like I think single stitch stuff, like
I think
$4
I
or
saw the
$5 a
TikTok
piece.
about that.
I
Yeah.
found some cool board games at that one. I mean, I found a lot of cards. That's
What
really
kind of
what I
board
was looking
games
for.
are you calling cool board games?
They're like I've talked to you about this before.
Like the
back in
hyper
the day.
nerdy ones?
Yeah, you want when you're looking for board games, you want the ones with the people's names on them that are independent. And
Sid Meier's.
the more Norwegian or Swedish the name, the better. If it's like Stig Muffelson or whatever, money.
Stig's coming back. He not only created vases, but he created a board
No,
game.
he also does some board games about pirates and stuff and train tracks and stuff.
So my,
But,
my brother's got into board games. That's why I asked, because he took me to a
stuff.
board game shop when I was up there at his house, Carrie.
Are we going to start doing board games?
A
Dude,
board
there
game
was one.
shop?
So
There are
first
those
of all, yes, there are, and I am basically a pro at Catan now. By the way,
Oh.
Carrie, and I have it, so we should play it together sometime. That's a
never played
bolo,
it.
guys. If you see Settlers of Catan, that's a board game you can sell on eBay.
Back in the day, my buddy used to force me to play Heroescape. Have you ever played Heroescape, where you're like different Marvel guys? It was actually pretty fun. So I mean,
well,
I
it
got a
was
Catan.
Catan is very fun. Oh, you got one?
I got excited last year about this time of year actually, this coming weekend, and I got a Catan when I was like, sweet, I've never got one before, and I brought it home and it was a German edition and it sold for nothing.
Well, dude, the thing is, so when I'm at the board game shop, they have the normal Catan, which is like a $30 game, and then the expansion packs
They have
another
a ton of
$30. So it's like a
expansions,
$60. So I have just the game and the expansion, and he has like 5 games and expansions, and so we played like 8 different versions while I was there. They're all really fun, honestly. We were doing nothing because Tina had like the worst migraine of her life, so we literally were kind of sitting at his house the whole time I was there. We had to take her to the ER. We took her to the hospital because it was that bad of migraine, and it had proceeded for like 2.5 days at this point.
Gosh.
And so at 5 a.m., I take her to the hospital. I'm like, we got to figure out something because we're supposed to go to the concert. And if I talked about this in my video, but Kevin clearly didn't watch it, which is fine.
No.
And so she goes there. She gets
but
this
Carrie
migraine.
did?
Carrie did watch it, yes. That's why he's nodding in acknowledgement.
no, I didn't. I watched
Yeah, you
I mostly read the comments. That's the fun
You
part.
told
of
me
your
you
videos.
watched the first 5 minutes. That's where I talked about the ER.
No, I didn't get
So-
that far. Like you were sitting
Okay.
with Callie.
So he
That's
watched
how
like
far
30
I got.
seconds.
Yeah, like
He
30
watched
seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. Either
You
way,
just got to make it more engaging. That's all. Go ahead.
you just didn't want to spoil the podcast. You wanted to.
Well, look,
hold
I
to
know
that.
what happened. Like you told me, like the
I wanna
footage
know what
because
happened
I
to
saw the
Tina.
footage. I wanted to see the scary airplane footage, but you already showed me that.
So went to the ER, and they're doing all these like.
And I knew
tests
about Tina, we
to make
talked.
sure that like her arms are moving properly, make sure she's not having a stroke or something. Like her micro, there's all these like concerns. The nice thing was that it was 5 a.m. and we got there at the perfect time. So they took her right back. The doctor was there. Like that was really nice. They gave her a migraine cocktail IV, which is like a bunch of different meds for a migraine. And like in 2 hours, she was like, "Oh wow!"
good.
Like she was
So one of the
if you've ever
classical
had-
migraines, was it with the vision and everything?
Yeah, it was. I mean, if you've ever had like a multi-day migraine, it feels hopeless, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. And she was feeling so hopeless at this point. But we took her to the ER the day of the concert, and by the time the concert, we were convinced the whole time we weren't getting to go. Convinced we were not going to get to go to this concert because
My
we
darn
can't take her
wife
like that.
getting
It was fine.
migraines.
I told her it was fine. It's not a big deal. I'm not like as into concerts as she is. It is my favorite artist, but
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not as into concerts.
Dermot Mulroney, correct?
Dermot Kennedy, and so we just didn't expect to have it happen. I didn't think I was actually to the point where I was concerned, like, is she gonna be able to fly home, or we're gonna have to rent a car and drive home so that we can stop and get out? You know what I mean? Like, this is where we were at with this whole thing, but I have no idea what the ER bill is gonna be with my no insurance, but we'll see. I've got the healthcare sharing thing. I'm gonna really put it to the test, see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did get to go to
wanna
the
know.
concert. We went to the concert, and it was awesome. Like, I've never really loved concerts, but this concert, I guess there's a difference, because normally I'm going to concerts of her favorite bands, like Tim McGraw and people I don't really like, Luke Combs. Like, okay, I'll listen to them, but they're not like artists I love. It was the first time I've ever gone to a concert of an artist that I like really love their music, and
And you
was,
loved
it
it.
was pretty cool. It was so
Yeah,
good.
you didn't
It was
even
so
share like all the footage where you would flip the camera back around and you were just crying. You were
Dude,
in
I
tears.
would
I'm like,
say
I've never
that.
seen Dave
Can I
this
tell you?
emotional.
First of all, that's not a video I took, but I'm also not going to say it didn't happen. So I was actually really
I want to
weird
see
to
this
me.
video.
That was
How
really
come you
weird.
got
Like,
it, Carrie?
If Dave cried, I would be freaked out. I'm like, he can
Because
cry.
listen, Glenn Havsvard or whatever his name is, the guy from the Once movie, you know how to say his name.
Yeah,
Carrie.
Glenn Hansard. Yeah, he's from
anyways,
the
one of
Swell
your games,
season.
like,
Yeah.
Falling Softly. He was singing that, and the lady in front of me was crying. He was like the opening act. I was like, Tina, why is she crying? She's
Dave
like,
has
people-
feelings. We've learned
She's like,
this
Dave,
from this
people
episode.
cry at concerts. I'm like, no, they don't. She's like, yes, they do. A lot of people cry at concerts. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then my guy comes
Dude,
out,
I
I'm just
went to-
crying. I'm like, why am I crying?
In the summer of 2000, some of you from Utah might have went to this, the E Center. I went and saw the Up in Smoke tour with
Ooh.
Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Warren G, and I cried.
I think so. I was talking to Tina about it post show. I think that Dermot is someone I've used with a lot of anxiety. Yeah, a lot of people listen to music to help with anxiety
Yeah.
attacks,
And
things like that.
When
And
Dave
Dermot's
is on
been my
vacation,
go-to.
there's a lot of anxiety because he's
Yeah.
not doing.
Oh, dude! Oh my gosh, we'll talk about that too.
Dude, yeah,
but
being
it's
stuck in a
really
car
legit
8-9
hard.
hours a day is not
It's
good
what
for
I'm
anxiety
dreaming
either.
of. I dream of doing nothing.
But so I put on Dermot whenever I'm stressed. I mean, through any stressful time in the last 5-6 years, I put on Dermot. So I think like him being there and it sounding like just it was just weird. It was like an emotional moment. Like it brought all those like memories to my head where I was struggling. So it was interesting for sure.
It was
Amazon.
cool. Like people at the concert, like the footage, they
I
were
try,
like
yo. I try.
into it, man.
Dude,
They were
I
like-
didn't think. I think that was part of it too. Like, he's kind of an obscure Irish artist, and he's not that popular yet. And so, like, I always have felt like I'm the only one who listens to him. So it's kind of really cool to see people who knew his lyrics. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only person, and they're like normal humans that like him too. It's kind of cool. All right, Kevin, what were you trying to say?
Kevin, go ahead.
Nothing. I've already been distracted.
Okay,
So
moving
Fenton,
on.
Have you? I imagine Dave has sold a Fenton Bell before.
Yes,
No?
I sold
Yes.
one on Dibdit like 3 days
Yeah.
before I
Dibdit.
left.
What did
.com.
you get? Because I thought I found one.
I got
a while
about
back, and I'm like,
$18 for it, but they only sell for about 15. So I actually beat eBay on
there
that
you
one.
go. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
Fenton
was
Bells are
gonna
only
say.
about 15.
Okay.
So
That's what I was going to say. I was like, that might be an item that somebody on there might. Because, look, it's also cheaper because if they're buying 3 and 4 and 8 and 12
they have
items,
free shipping or
they don't have
dollar
the
shipping, yeah.
shipping. So at 18, it's a break even, anyways, for them, and you make more money.
it's probably a little cheaper on Dibdit if they've already
a
bought.
win-win.
because
Do you
it's gonna
think
be
that
$7 to ship it on eBay?
Increases in shipping prices really makes live selling more palatable for some folks because of the
I think
bundles?
I think those who are like really smart shoppers, yeah, absolutely. I just it also
Carrie-
makes you impulse buy stuff you weren't going to buy. So I don't know
Yeah.
if it's entirely.
Carrie
what
did
it
a
you're
is.
Digit
disciplined.
show today, and I saw a lot of people in there, Carrie.
Dude, there was like 80 plus people. It was
There was
it was
some
a big
demand.
show.
There was some
I will
demand for
say
Carrie.
this. I will say this. Like my normal Whatnot day, because I still do Whatnot. Full disclosure, is Monday night. I did
Thank
a
you for
Whatnot.
disclosing that.
Yeah, well, I want people to know that I'm also a Whatnot daddy as well. And so we went on to Whatnot before, like an hour and a half before, and I quit after 20 minutes because it was brutal.
Oh, sweet.
on Sunday. I don't usually
the
go on Sunday, and then
video's coming out.
I don't do videos on that kind of stuff. You guys,
No,
can,
the
you
I
guys
Quit
can.
Whatnot video is coming out. Look what Dave did for Dave.
I don't do those kind of videos where I draw attention to myself. I work silently like a ninja in the dark of night, and then you just see me with bags of money.
Dude,
That's
actually,
how I work.
When you do quit Whatnot, that video would be good for your
I will
channel and
if
for
I
your
actually
options.
yes, if
for
I
Dibdib.
actually do officially quit Whatnot at some point. But it was like that's the thing. Like Whatnot days are very important. And then I went on Dibdit, kind of dejected to be honest. I was like, oh man,
What were you
this is
selling
going to
on
be
Dibbers? Cards?
the
or-
same stuff.
Oh,
The cards, and I went on Dibdit, and it was awesome. And I had a really good auction, and I started out like emo carry, and I ended up, just like with my shirt off, throwing it around.
Oh, we have to ban you now.
Oh yeah,
That is,
yeah, no.
Dude, emo
I
carry,
will unban myself.
Auction emo carry is a real thing. You gotta
It's hard not to be, man.
yeah.
I try not to be emo. I try to be professional, but like honestly, anybody who had and anybody who's done live auctions have had this. Maybe not Kevin, because Kevin's just has so many people that pity bid and stuff. But like normal people who do auctions,
Dave's got
like,
more
you have
than
a
I
bad
do these
one.
days. Well,
Yeah,
sort of.
Dave's killing
Well,
it.
but
If
I
you
sell better
count
stuff.
the-
You have those
Kevin's-
auctions
Kevin
and you
is
get beat down.
showing-
It's tough.
Kevin is showing good, great CDs for eBay, and he's like, "Oh, I can't sell these. I got to look them up on eBay." He literally said that during his auction.
No. I sold great CDs on here. All
you
of
had
them.
two you wouldn't run.
I had to. They had ticket stubs on them. I wanted to look
Put
the
them on
ticket
Dibbers.
stubs. Listen,
Put them on Dibbers for
Let the
$1.
people of Dibdit look them up when they buy them from
I
us.
did sell them on Dibdit the next day, and I'm glad I waited.
Once you
because
figured
it
they
wasn't
weren't
just
worth
for
it.
me. Because I knew, Dave. I knew if I put that up right then, it would go for a lot of money. And it was 1996 ticket stub, and I'm like, I don't think this is worth a darn thing unless there's something special about it. And turned out I was right. And so I saved somebody some money.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
if
how
you
you're
just
spinning that,
wanted
by the
them.
way? That's how you're spinning that.
That's how it happened.
That's a weird spin.
That was a
Like
weird
he
spin.
intentionally did it.
Like he intentionally was trying to
He
save
intentionally
people?
wanted to make less
Yeah.
money. That you should
was like,
intentionally
this
give
is
that
like the real
Vaz
thing.
lady
He was like-
$500 back.
He was like nerd Superman. He's like, I'm going to
man.
save them from purchasing a CD. Like it's
If they wanted it and they were willing to pay $30,
maybe
for
they
it, I'd
wanted
let
it,
them.
dude.
And they didn't know you were
gotta
running it the
treat
next
your
day, so they
customers
missed
right
it.
all the time, and you do.
Okay,
Dave.
so
you
so
do.
here's what I was gonna say about
What
the
about
board
me?
game shop. We
What about
never
me,
finished
Kev?
this thought. I got
Well, cards, I
rudely
didn't watch it.
interrupted. Rudely interrupted. What I was saying about Catan is when I went to the board game shop, they have a new version of Catan that is like raised pieces instead of cardboard, Kevin. It is a $400 game if you find it. If you find that at a yard sale, it's like a big Catan. It's called 3D Catan. The MSRP is $400. I looked it up on eBay. Pre-owned, it sells for $300. So,
Hey, Gary, did you hear about these lid
Yeah.
things? These upside down logos for MLB hats?
Yes,
yeah.
everyone
Those?
did. Yeah,
Oh.
the T-Toss hat and all that.
Oh well, that you're talking. Yeah, those are
Those
going
are
to be
ugly.
like bolos.
They're
I know.
so
I don't
ugly.
under. There's a
something
few
else I
of them
heard
that
about.
they work for. There's a few that don't look terrible, but most of them looked bad. I'm like, who
Yeah.
in the office? Maybe they were trying to get something viral. Like honestly,
Who
with
did
no
they work
intentions of really ever producing them. I don't know.
Let's do a really
Allegedly.
ugly design and maybe it'll go viral.
What's
I
the next
guess.
segment?
Yeah, segment.
Well, I was still talking about board games.
I just
You
want
cut me off
everybody to
talking
know.
about-
We're on the board
I
game
love how
segment.
Kevin gives us a hard time about interrupting, and he's interrupting constantly.
I'm trying to get
Like, what
focused.
is? We have
Yeah.
talked so much about reselling already.
I can't. I know, but this is like half my list. I got some other ones for you, Dave, that I was right
Okay,
about.
go
and
ahead
I'm
with
happy
something
about.
else. Go ahead.
Well, you
Go
gave
ahead.
all your information to the federal government, and I refused, and I ended up right again.
You understand how much information the
do.
Benson report was, right? It was
Yes,
like
but
your name and your
this
address,
is what
which they
irks
already
me.
have.
This irked me as a teacher, and it irked the parents too, because every year they would come in for the teacher day, and they would fill out all this information. They're like, "I filled this out 500 times. How many
That's what I mean. They
times
already
do you
know
need
it
this
all."
information?" And I'm like, I have to send my info to the state, and it's got all this crap on it.
Yeah,
the
Kevin
IRS
has to let
got
him-
all this crap on it.
Kevin has to let him know
Stupid.
about his offshore bank accounts. That's probably was the issue.
Can I let you know? Okay, so let's give people some fill in. Basically, there was like this government thing where you had to fill in this thing if you owned an LLC or an S corp or anything like that, and it was like just waffling back and forth. You have to do it. You don't have to do it. And if you don't
7
do it, there's going to be a
times.
$500 fine every day
Every
you
day.
don't do it. Right?
40
And
years
so,
of
like,
jail every day.
So like the first 4 times I held strong and I was like, it's not going to go through. It's not going to go through. Then the 5th time they said, oh, it's going through and it's in 3 days. That was like back in the end of December. And I was like, oh crap, I got to go do it now. And so I had a total granny moment, grandpa moment, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. My dad would do it too. And I type in the FinSend report thing, and I click on the first link. It's a sponsored link. Okay, I didn't realize this. It was not the actual government website. It was this sponsored
I got a
site.
video coming out about it.
I put in my social security number. I took pictures of my ID. I gave them all my info. I get to the end, it's like $99. I'm like, this is supposed to be free. Where did I just enter all my personal information? And then I asked ChatGPT, and they're like, yeah, that's not the official site. That's
the
ChatGPT
biggest
told me.
problem with this that's so stupid.
Sketchy.
Is it opens it up to scams. So I'm not going to give away a video I'm doing. 'Cause
So
not just this, but other things too.
I like grilled
Well, it sounds like a
ChatGPT.
riveting video, though.
It is.
I grilled-
It's going to do well.
I grilled ChatGPT. I'm like, yeah, but how at risk am I? Like, and they're like,
You should
honestly, that site is not that bad. It's not nefarious. They just want you to pay them, but they're not planning on using your stuff for other things. But it still could.
Coming from the guy who just learned what property tax is.
Who, Carrie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I haven't
thinking
owned and
about
still
that.
haven't owned any
Yeah, but
property.
you still
so.
pay property tax. You just don't know it. It comes in the form of rent.
It's in your rent. Yeah,
Well, there
they
we
built it
go.
into the rent.
They
yeah.
can deal with it. I'll pay whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, anyways, I filled it out. Kevin didn't, and I actually waited. I didn't fill it out till the 6th time. I didn't. After that whole thing, I was like, "Screw it! I'm not filling it out." This
But
is
you're
too
right.
stressful.
It was
It's
annoying.
annoying. It took 2 minutes, but it was just
Yeah, they did change it. So I don't know. So it's now people oversee if it's offshore or whatever, they got to fill it out, which that's fine, whatever.
Makes more sense. They don't have all their information already.
Well, that's where all the fraud and laundering and all the stuff's coming from.
Kevin knows. I told you earlier in the show, guys. He's a great launderer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why he created so many. The Commons laundering market. Air quotes, so you can't sue me, Kevin.
Yeah, you can't sue when you put the air quotes in.
Diamonds.
It's
Also
like
can't sue
allegedly.
your-
It's a visual
I told
allegedly.
you, by the way,
Yeah, you
when we
can't
talked
sue
about,
your friends legally. So.
When we talked about the Nicole State thing, I told y'all that this was going to be very dated by the time it came out.
Bro,
and
she's
that video
back,
was
though.
I know,
Dude, she's on Poshmark already. She's
Why?
doing TikToks about how she cheated on her husband every day.
Is she really?
Yeah, dude, her TikToks are insane. And Vad
About
is
how she
Rad
cheated
is
on
doing like Vad is
Hold
Rad
on.
is doing. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I need you to break this down. The videos are
I got a
about how
TikTok
she's
thing.
cheating
No,
on her
every
husband?
video is like in
Is
the
there an
last
allegedly you want to throw
Are we
out?
really
Yeah, no,
sinking this
allegedly
low?
everything I'm saying is alleged as always.
Okay,
I don't say
okay.
anything without alleged the umbrella
now
of
say it, now
allegedness.
say it.
Okay. No, I watched these allegedly, and she's just like sitting,
Well
like
done,
there's all
bro.
these videos, and she's like, in the last 30 days, I ruined my multi-million-dollar business. I cheated on my husband. I've ruined my life, and now I'm going to make a comeback. And she just did like that video over and over again, and it was working on TikTok. You could just say stuff now on TikTok allegedly, and it just works.
So, well, I didn't know she had cheated on her husband. But okay, so this is the
Allegedly.
thing. We should talk about this, all right? So Poshmark
We
has
should
let her
not.
on. Poshmark
Well, we
has
should
let
talk
her on,
about this. Yeah.
And she's now.
She
allowed to
mentioned it
sell.
on her video. That's the only reason I'm mentioning it. I wouldn't mention it
I
otherwise.
saw
She-
Glad we
her-
have
allegedly.
Carrie
I
will probably
saw-
hit the approve button on Dibdit. If she
Well,
don't touch the approve button, Carrie.
I want to know.
Do you know how many buyers she would bring into Dibdit, man?
I don't care.
I'm joking. I don't want her on there either. I'm joking. But I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
We already let
question I
Death Pile
have-
on there. I mean, how much lower could we stick?
Allegedly.
Is-
Nope. Allegedly.
is
Everything.
Poshmark
All the time.
responsible-
All at once.
Is Poshmark responsible for banning her pre her committing any wrongdoings on their
She's
platform?
already been banned from Poshmark, allegedly, I thought. Allegedly.
No.
No.
I
don't
thought
think
that
so.
had happened already. Somebody
Oh, maybe
allegedly talk
Let's
about it
pretend
down below.
for the sake of this conversation, she hasn't.
Well,
Okay.
just
So
ask yourself,
should
what would
they
you do, Dave?
just- I
You have a
wouldn't want her on my
marketplace.
platform.
No,
I wouldn't want her on my platform.
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
wouldn't want her on there.
no-brainer. Why?
But maybe
would
they
you?
don't know. Maybe they don't know. Like
Come
anyone can go
on,
click
dude.
sign up. Anyone
Oh,
can
I
go click sign
understand.
up.
Dude, John, I guarantee you, John Quincy Poshmark
I
knows
guess.
all about what's happening.
Like, do they do? My question is, did Poshmark like enable this? Reach out and say, "Hey, sell over here instead," because we know you got banned, or did she just click the sell button and she started selling? And Poshmark said, "Oh, she's on here. That's kind of icky. What do we do? Just let it ride. She's making us a lot of money." Like, I wish I knew what happened.
She cost what? Not a lot of money, apparently.
Well, yeah. I mean, I imagine I
and
didn't watch her
terrible
whole
publicity. I don't know. I
Yeah, for
wouldn't.
months.
I wouldn't mess with it at all.
Speaking
Should
of
we
someone
take
who
out
used to
all
say
of this? I don't want
allegedly-
to. Yeah, should we take? Did I say allegedly enough?
You said it a lot. I think we're okay. Yeah, you even said you allegedly watched the videos, which means you might not have even watched the videos.
can't
Well, I want to
slander
cover. I don't
somebody
know
if you
what
believe
happened.
you're
What's
saying.
reality at this point? I just want an umbrella of allegedness over all of which I say.
Curry's going to learn about umbrella policies.
Oh, I have one. I
That's
need to renew
insurance
mine.
talk. I love insurance talk. We should talk more about it.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about it. Do you think umbrella policies increase your likelihood of getting sued?
How would they know if you have?
I hate insurance in every way possible. I swear
too.
I wish there was just catastrophic stuff and that was it.
Do you blame the
prices
British?
of everything
Do you
would go
blame?
down
Do you blame
everywhere.
the Tea Party and stuff? Like the original Tea Party and stuff? Like, is this a?
I blame
insurance?
teabagging. Teabagging, I can blame it.
Yeah, I mean, well, teabagging doesn't get enough blame.
ChatGPT all of a sudden started talking to me like I was like a Gen Zer. And I was like, can you not do that? Like, because it said, like, cap, bro. And I said, can you not talk like that? I'm an elder millennial. Get it right. We say
Exactly.
sweet and sick. Thank
Yeah,
you
we
very
say
much.
sick. We say dope. If
We
you
do
could
not say
throw in
vibin'.
all. Yeah, if you could say all that in a bag of chips every once in a while, we'd feel
Yeah.
comfortable.
We don't say sigma. Okay, just stop with the skibbities. I don't want to hear it.
Unless you
ChatGPT
follow it up with a
so
toilet.
dumb at this point.
You know, Turner's been homeschooled his whole life, so he doesn't have a lot of that stuff. But he plays travel ball, so sometimes he comes in with, I'm like, what is this? He told something about somebody selling in a basketball game the other day. I'm like, selling? What does selling mean? I have no idea what you're talking about. Selling.
Yeah,
So,
that means
anyway.
they did a good job.
Hey,
I think.
Rod will be mad at me if I don't promote the April 2nd,
Third.
16 out 3rd.
April 3rd.
April
sorry.
3rd.
Dibbed It Threads show for 16 hours or something. Dibbed It today, y'all. Right as soon as it's over, I'm going to go on comments, and then Jimmy's coming on with me on Dibbed It. Dibbed.com.
Nice. Double dibs. Double dibbers.
Hey,
Dibbed it squared.
To go back to what you were talking about earlier is, I don't remember exactly, but having good, it was Carrie's emo. That's what got me thinking about it. Carrie's emo. The sellers that do the best are the ones that either don't care about what it's going for, or they act like they don't care what it's going for, and they want those good deals. They
That's
don't
true
be
in
like,
all live auctions. Yeah, in all live auctions, if you're acting, it's detrimental to Carrie when he does it. And I know he knows it. He just can't help it.
I know. I try
He
so
knows
hard.
this.
Sometimes
He
it's
knows
you do.
this.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just like. You know, but I got some things I want to add to that though. Sometimes like Dawn's also emo, and so I'm dealing with Dawn being
Sometimes
emo
you-
about it. And then Dawn, she's not like she's letting me know loudly.
She's not letting him, but she doesn't
She's
hold
not-
back.
So I'm trying to like
Carrie sells it for $1. She like double middle fingers him.
no,
$1?
no, it's not like that.
I
But
paid $2 for that.
we
Carrie.
all understand that that's how it needs to be. But still, you're human, and if you like sell, you have a tough time. Sometimes you get
I
discouraged.
watched a show from Nomadic Flipper the other day on Threads, and he had done a bunch of shows, and some of them were successful, some weren't. And he was just so happy and giving deals and whatever, and the people just all got in, and he was selling stuff like crazy. I'm telling you, that's a huge deal. And Pacific Picker does the same thing.
I think it actually helped me to realize, to take away the crutch of eBay with my mentality. Because at that point, and Dawn still has that crutch, which makes it hard for her probably to
Yeah.
accept it. Because she's
part of
like,
my-
dang, I definitely could have sold that for 20 on eBay.
I do too, Dave.
Whereas
I still have that.
I can't sell it for 20 on eBay.
I would
I'm
be
not
honest,
selling on
man.
eBay. So it
I am
doesn't
ge-
matter.
I honestly envy that a little bit, and I think ultimately,
beautiful
like
thing
mentally, I think I'm going to get to the point, because I still do buy it now stuff everywhere. Even on Whatnot, I have buy it now
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
I think there's going to come a point where I think to ultimately have the most success I can with a live auction is just to let everything go.
Jess, helps me with stuff, and so I don't even know what I'm selling till I get in here sometimes. And I start selling, I'm like, what are we selling here? It was not great stuff. I'm like, Jess, we got to bring goods. We can't just bring $5 items. I was like,
I feel like
but that
Kevin
stuff
has
sells on
instructed
eBay. I'm like,
Jess.
no, let's sell more stuff. Let's go.
Are
I
you
feel
blaming
like Kevin-
Jess for the poor auctions that you put
Yeah,
together?
I told her. I blamed it right on the show.
Change her mentality. She needs to
And
change
so,
her mentality.
of course, the other side of the story to defend Jess is sometimes she'll bring in a $50. I'm like, what are you doing? We got sell it. So
Dude,
it's
the
not just
$50
Jess.
stuff is the stuff that does the absolute best on eBay. You do an auction of all
100%.
$50 stuff, By the end of that auction, you're getting $50. If you have $150 items, like you might not start there, but by the end, you're getting 50, 60, 70 for some of it.
Because the free
Like,
ship in the bundle.
Yeah, it's just, and people have already gotten deals. They want to support you. Like, I'm convinced Kevin has told Jess not to read my comments. When he's doing a show, she will read everyone but my comments. Every single one of the comments but mine. She just always skips them. Jess, if you're watching
probably
this, I know.
inappropriate.
I know. They're not. They're just very passive. Like, Jess, if you're looking for a better job, move to Florida. Like, just simple stuff like that.
Death Pile's always trying to get her too. He's like, I live at the beach. I live at the beach, a free room and
Beautiful
board.
weather down here. Oh, Mike's trying to get her to move in. I don't know about all that.
Yeah. He's just,
I'm not going that aggressive. I just want, an employee who actually is good at her job.
she's good. I was thinking about putting a Jess tip jar down there, like as a thing.
How much are you
Well,
taking
we're
of
trying.
that? Are you like one of the companies? I was going to say Olive Garden. They don't do this allegedly. I don't know if anybody does. But are you like one of these companies that like puts the tip in, but that you're? Wait, I said that weirdly, but you know what I mean. Are you one of those companies that's just going to like ask for a tip jar, but that you take most of the tip and you just give them a little bit?
I am so sick of the tip question. I am getting rude about it. I'll be honest with you.
I'm just going to be honest.
Literally getting rude.
You don't have to ask. I want a tip. You don't have to ask. I want
Listen,
to.
this is-
Well, I gotta hear
it
this.
took me it took me over the edge. All right, I got triggered to no end. I went to the car wash, and at the car wash, you drive up, you put your card in, you select your car wash level. There's a dude there to take my card and says, "Which car wash level do you want?" I said, "I can do it." He's like, "Oh, we do it for you." I was like, "The cheap one."
this Buc-ee's?
And he's like, "All right." He's like, "There's one question to answer. Do you want to leave a tip?" I said, "Absolutely not. No." Like, just
This
no.
is Dave at the garage sale when the guy shows up early.
Ridiculous. I don't even want you to take my card, and you're forcing me to give it to you, and you're literally pressing one button on the car wash. I'm not tipping you for that.
That reminds
Ooh,
me,
it
I was at a
triggered me.
restaurant with Death Pile.
Triggered millennial right
Matt Flippy Business. We met up with a nice couple down there when we were eating. And I was, you walk up and you pay for your food, and I'm like, it's got a tip thing on there. And I'm like, okay, I was like, can I just leave cash on the table and not put the tip in now? It's like, oh, yeah, no problem. Which is what I did. And I make Mike pay the tip. And then he locked his he's locked his keys in the car.
You and Mike
Who did
once
Mike?
got mad at
Yeah.
Dawn for leaving a tip
I have to
once.
shout out. I've been trashing Mike, so I have got to shout out. If you haven't listened to the last couple of Reseller Leftovers podcasts, they were
Dude,
good.
I've
they were
tried.
entertaining.
I've tried.
Dude,
Tina
they
made
were
me turn
good.
it off.
What?
She
The
said, I
last
can't
one
listen
was
to this, Dave. It's too
amazing.
boring.
Oh, it was so good. I liked it. Joe was his talkative self. It was very good.
I like
Did you
Joe in
see
the
they
last
ripped you
one.
off,
That
Dave?
was-
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you not notice that?
They had the loop, and
Joe
everybody's like
wasn't
acting
there.
like it was an original thing they did.
Oh, that I picked up on that just through I didn't watch it, but on the audio, I'm like,
You gotta act
how
like
come
an
Joe
adult.
keeps saying the same thing? This must be a loop. And then I look down, I'm like, yeah, it's a loop.
I thought it was
No,
funny.
I didn't finish it. Well, Tina, I don't know. Tina is going to get mad at me for saying that. Tina
Jimmy and
loves
Mike
your
have
show,
a rapport
Mike.
now. Jimmy's not
Don't
just
get
rolling
mad at
over to
Tina.
Mike's nonsense. He gives it right back. Jimmy's got a little attitude. I like it on there.
Yeah,
It's
they're a
good.
little sassy now on
Yeah.
that podcast.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
good.
I want to see the mashup, the locker room leftover mashup.
Oh.
That'd
Yeah.
be the way to go. Okay,
Well, I
so
don't listen to Locker Room very often, and I turned it on the other day, and he's talking about me, so I was like, oh, this is good.
I want to talk about something cool that happened. I thought it was cool, so we'll just bring it up. A little story time segment. We can all have story time segment.
Yeah, story time.
Someone did an auction on Dibdit for their
yeah.
dad. They were doing like a fundraiser to help him keep his house because a lot of stuff has come up and he just needs some money to help keep the house. And his dad has this huge collection. He did a 12-hour auction on Dibdit, and it was awesome. And I will say,
was
again, like I
amazing.
said to Kevin earlier, they didn't
They were
care.
s-
They
the
didn't care.
better
They were selling
stuff
great
goes.
items. They were
High-dollar
selling
stuff goes.
mediocre items, lame items, any type of items. And it doesn't matter if you have a lame item. I sell lame items
Yeah.
sometimes too. Like, don't
Mix
take
it
that
in.
personally or anything like that.
Yeah.
Some items are better than others.
Kind of your thing.
And they were doing great. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
12-hour stream. I think he said it at the end that he had sold something like $4,000 worth or something.
Well,
or
that
more. I
day
can't remember.
was $8,300. All of
It was,
it.
it was crazy. He did
And he
crazy
dominated
money.
that day.
Everyone, I mean, people were getting out of the way too because it was like a charity thing. So I know Brandon didn't run his show because he wanted to give that guy space, but it was
Brandon's
really cool.
actually getting good at it. I listened to his
At
show the
live
other day, and
auctions,
it
I
was
didn't
not
see it.
bad. I'm like, I'm
look
not
at that.
terribly bored here today, Brandon.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, it was good. That's
Yeah,
a
no,
good
he's-
compliment.
he's
I
really
have
good.
to toot my own horn here because
Oh, shocking.
I knew everybody
Oh, wow.
thought. I know
Turn off the
everybody
camera
thought
first, but go ahead.
that Dave kick it. Look, this is real.
Keep
I
the
was
camera
afraid
up.
too. I was afraid that
up.
when Dave didn't kick off all these days on Dibbed It with good sales, that we would just crater. And it didn't. I mean, it's not quite as good as when Dave's on there because Dave's selling a lot. But yesterday there was $5,500 in sales on there.
It's awesome.
I'm
yeah.
like, I feel like I
I think
contributed
that's cool.
to this.
I think that's cool.
I did 4 shows. I did.
I think it's good. I think it's good. We have.
We
let's
do
see,
need to tell them that the dashboard of District is all in yen. So it's
Well,
5,500
it is-
yen.
It is like changing the dashboard. I don't love that.
Ugh, I hate it.
Don't love that. And they keep
I'll
like
get
making
used
me
to
go to the new dashboard, and then I have to keep going back to the old dashboard. That's
what they
I
do,
don't know
man.
how to go back to the old dashboard, so
You
I'm
click
not doing
show
You know
that.
how
old
much?
dashboard.
You know how long Kevin fought the horse and buggy, car transition?
Hey,
All right, so we have some
I'm-
questions from Patreon, and it was a long time. Fishboxer said, "Who could eat the most hot dogs if the winning prize is 20,000?" And Kevin thinks they want us to talk reselling. This is the stuff they feed us. I
This
mean,
is what we. Yeah. This is good. Let's actually do
okay.
this seriously, though.
hot dogs. 20,000's a
We
lot.
talking
of
no
money.
bun or just glizzy only?
I think it's with the bun. It's with the bun. I think no bun and glizzy only are both without bun, aren't they?
I don't know. I
Glizzy?
just wanted to
What
say
only?
glizzy.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so I think that hard pressed, I could eat 10, maybe 11.
In how long?
Hot dogs. Let's say 5 minutes. No, let's say 10
Oh,
minutes.
in 10 minutes? Ooh.
Yeah,
I can
one a
say
minute.
I'm
1
not
minute seems
winning
realistic.
this. I'm not winning this.
Yes, you didn't give us a
competition.
time, Fishboxer. Fine. Let's say an hour. You have an hour to eat as many. Well, if it's an hour, I can eat probably 20.
No, I think Kevin would win if you told him like if
Money's
you didn't
involved
win.
in any
Yeah,
way.
or like you can't have Zen today if you don't win.
Kevin,
That would
Kevin,
be
there's
a
seven
motivation.
pennies that you can use for 1 extra poly mailer.
Gobbling them up.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
We should do it. If
I
we
have
ever do
issues-
a Mike Metco sponsored meetup, we should have a hot dog eating contest.
I think that if Carrie, you can back me up on this. If it was a speed contest, I can win. So if it's like a 30-second
I
contest,
think
I'm eating the
speed
most
you would
food.
win because you're going to dip it
If
in
it's
water like a
quantity-
maniac.
If it's quantity, I don't know about quantity because I get like a stomach ache if I eat too much, and then I will just hard stop. I can't keep going.
I have a
past the stomach
complaint
ache.
because I'm not going to win this. And I don't really
Shocking.
care.
All right,
Dave
go
would
ahead and
win
turn
this
your camera and mic
competition.
off and go ahead.
Dave would win this competition. So I still don't have access to Trash to Cash after
I sent you
requesting
the
twice.
password. I sent you
When?
the password
Where?
a week and a half ago.
Where?
On WhatsApp.
Okay, I'll look
I'll
at it.
reply to
Well,
the.
You
where I
still
sent
have a
it to you.
live show up, Epic Star Wars, that's never been removed. It's still there.
Yeah, well, you
So,
could have done it with the
just saying.
password I provided
I
you
didn't
2 weeks
have.
ago.
Maybe I'll look. I'll look and see.
We
Carrie
created
told
some.
me she'd
We
send it.
created some amazing
send it.
artwork for Kevin lately, and his auction.
I'm using
there
them.
it is.
They're on the Thread show coming
is
up.
some really good
I'm
ones.
using them.
Did you use the sassy grandpa with the 2 ladies hanging off his arms?
I used a sassy grandpa, but not with the 2 lady hanging off the arms. There's too much cleavage. Too much 90-year-old
granny
cleavage.
I kind of like some of the ones with you and D-Pile. They were fun.
Yeah,
Those
D
were
Pile has a
funny.
new name, doesn't he?
He does have a new name.
Okay, we now I'm looking for
Fisherman-
that text message, Kevin.
Fisherman
'cause I
Mike.
want to find it. I wanna
It's all
prove
right.
it.
Fisherman
It's
Mike.
not the end of the world. You know, it's just call it even with the
send it
key. You know, you
What?
can send
I
it,
sent
call
it to you.
even.
That okay. Next
Oh.
question on the Patreon. There's a lot of Dibbed It and District questions. I'm not going to read them all. Did Dave?
But that's what people want to hear from us is dipped in
We're
stuff.
going to read
I
some of
think.
it.
They
We're going to
wanna
read
hear
some of
eBay.
it, but I don't want to overwhelm.
eBay Renaissance.
Yeah.
That's what they want to hear.
Did Dave have any bathroom incidents on his flight to New England? Based on the vlog, I assume some undies were harmed in the making of that video. You know, he made
my
Dave
gosh.
soiled undies stickers and sent me one. They're pretty good, yeah.
Put them on Dibbed It, dude. He'd sell them.
Yeah, you should sell them, dude. I authorize you and give you permission to sell those. I am not
You
gonna
don't
be
need to-
offended.
That's why Dave's commando all the time now.
No, I had no. Okay, so I had one issue with the bathroom, and it was the ice cream shop. My brother wanted me to take me to the orchard, and they said, "Oh, it's such great ice cream," and so I had it, and it was fine. It was a milkshake, but I took a Lactaid with it, and it didn't work. It normally works. So if I take a Lactaid, the result instead of explosive
what color
diarrhea
was
that
the
shoots you off
Lactaid
the
pill?
toilet
Was it little
white.
blue one?
It was white.
Could have been the wrong one.
Instead,
He had another problem.
instead of like the explosive diarrhea where I'm flying off the seat, right? If I have a lactate, it's just really smelly farts that smell like a stranger's farting out of my butt.
Do we really need to
Right,
do
like
this?
you know when the farts don't smell like your own, and you're
Yeah.
like, "This is upsetting. Whose is this fart?" I know
Exactly.
I felt it come out, but it doesn't smell like
As you
mine.
start to,
That's
yeah,
what the lactate does.
Start to
right?
question reality.
Yeah.
Like, am I myself or am I
But
someone else?
instead, I take the lactate and I have the milkshake, and we're playing Catan. And I'm like, game break, and
Yeah.
I just
We're about
shower
to
with
set.
the
We're
ball
about
and
yeah,
all
seriously.
that
We're
stuff,
about to settle this Catan right here. We're
Thanks
about
for
to ruin the
question, Biggs.
board
Thanks for
and
I'm
all the
not
pieces.
I'm not the TikTok daddy, but I have this new thing where I've basically doubled my revenue on TikTok, and I don't think either of you have it, and so
Carrie
I'm
has
excited
it.
about it.
Carrie.
Oh, you
I
did
have
get
the
it, Carrie?
additional. I've had the
What
additional.
is that all about?
I've had it for a couple months. It's cool, yeah. Basically on TikTok, if you're, you know how TikTok can be, like you're just randomly chosen and you don't even know why. They will give you additional revenue stream, basically, if you are making
This
engaging
keeps me from
content.
firing Dave's kid for one more month. This is good. I've got way more revenue. I can pay him for sure.
So I'm
Creator
hearing
Rewards program
Elijah's.
just got better.
Yeah,
think I have
Dave's
it
got
too.
it. There you go.
Nice.
Look at that. Videos posted after
I mean, there are
December
videos,
declare-
dude. There are videos where 67% of my income from the video is the additional. Like, I had a video that I think did like about 1,000, and I think
So
it was
I
like
have-
700 was the additional, or
I
650.
have 774 standard and then 47 additional for the month.
It's pretty
So it's
cool.
Pretty good.
I don't know
yeah.
how long. I definitely wouldn't get used to it. I mean, but it's
I
nice
also
while it's
have
happening.
still been reposting the same videos for the last 4 months.
Dude,
I have not made a single bit
Dave
of fresh
is so
content.
lazy.
Those
I made
videos
one
have made
today
me
and put one out.
thousands of dollars. It's insane. Anyways,
Just so
that's good.
unrelatable. So
Phil,
unrelatable.
why does Kevin have less gray hair than Dave or Carrie? Because he dyes it, Phil.
dyes
Do
his
not
hair.
dye my
Simple.
hair.
We live in reality, man.
I do not
we
dye my
accept.
hair.
We're accepting
we-
our age.
Exactly. You know what? We're aging gracefully, with respect for ourselves and our friends and our family.
Some people who don't measure up in other ways compensate with hair dye.
Exactly. The more hair dye up here, the less.
Look, I would have
Footage
much
down
more
there.
gray if I had a beard like you guys. The gray would show. I don't have much
Yeah.
gray on my hair.
I have a lot of gray on the sides too. I don't care.
Dude, it's
I live a
aggressive. You
cleaner
can.
life, much cleaner life than.
What are you talking about? I don't drink. I
Much
don't
cleaner.
smoke. The Cinnabuns I eat
Dude,
only
we were
have
talking-
sugar and fat in them.
Kevin mentioned this, and I don't know if he understands how real. Like, I have been having panic attacks for 3 days straight because I haven't been doing anything. I've
Yeah.
been on vacation.
I was sending.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh,
felt like I
it
was
is
doing Dave
killing
a
me.
service.
I felt
by
bad
not
for
bugging
Dave.
him while he was away, and I realized
Dave
I
was like, I
causing
want to
him
go to a
great
movie. I
trouble.
felt bad because I was busy. Like, it's my first day back. I'm like, I need to probably
Annabelle
generate
came with
some
me.
money because I
Annabelle
just
came
spent
with
a ton.
Annabelle came with
Fly.
me, so I had company. She liked it.
Well, I wanted to go, but I had to
It
be
was pretty good.
responsible.
Sci-fi movie. No, it's weird. I told Tina because I was with her at IKEA because we were looking at some furniture and stuff, and I was like having a panic attack. And then today I was having a panic attack, and I came to the realization I'm like, it's because I have nothing to do. Like, I have nothing going on. I'm on vacation, and it is killing me. Just completely killing
Well, all
me to
your
not stay
Dibdit
busy.
fans want you to come back.
I have no
They want
inventory.
you. I
I
know.
have no inventory. I have to
You'll
go
find
shopping.
plenty to do. in
I
a
have
couple
I
of
actually.
weeks.
So here's the thing: it's not even the inventory because I have a bunch of records. I'm going to do a big record sale when I come back. I probably have like 100, and they were good ones too. But I need my shipping stuff set up, and it's not set up right now because my garage is broken down, and it's just all a mess.
Well,
So
I got to
I'll
give
get
you
to
guys
it.
credit because the Browns down there, one of the videos, the last one, the other ones didn't perform well, woke up my channel, and the video
Really?
did well.
My channel is dead on pick.
Right, but at the same time that video came out and did okay, it was a 1. My old videos just started to go. I've got a video from 2023 that has 32,000 views in the last day.
Crazy.
Just popped. My old stuff started.
The rich
to-
They have
get
no
richer,
other
folks.
quality content out right now, like on
hey,
YouTube.
all I can say is the Browns did something to this because something. Not my
The
new
Browns
videos;
are-
they're okay. But
The Browns are
old
like
ones are
crack
popping.
for my sports card channel. I have like a 200,000 view video from the one pickup I made when I first moved here in November. So
Well, I gotta go back. And let me tell you, I've been selling that Florida stuff like crazy. I'm just
Okay,
jealous.
Bodega Finds Row says, I've noticed that during my live auctions, I keep seeing viewers pop in, say nothing, and just lurk. I know when I go into a live, I interact in the group chat at least. Is this something that should be of concern? Because if lurking is the secret to ranking up on the community leaderboard, I've been trying way too hard. I do not think they're trying to rank up. I don't think you can rank up just by showing up to a show on District. I think they're just like me, like
Dibdit.com.
on Dibdit, yeah, technically Dibdit. So I think, like, for me, first of all, sometimes I click on a show by accident because the notification pops up and I'm busy, and I press something and I accidentally click it. I'm in the show. And I'm like, oh, I don't have time.
I don't want to be here.
You know what I do?
Well, I just
because
get too busy or
I
something,
don't
or-
always want to, interact with everybody. If I'm doing something with my family or something, is I go on the God mode, go live behind the scenes, and then your name doesn't pop up and nobody knows you're in the sale.
Well, a lot of times I wasn't even trying to go into the show at all.
I feel like you
or
like the
I might just be
power,
curious as to
too.
what kind of stuff is selling, right? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this isn't really the kind of stuff I want to bid on. I may watch because it's an entertaining show. Like, a lot of people watch my show and don't bid. They just want to watch me be an idiot and drop stuff, right?
why I
Just like
watch.
they'll watch Carrie to see him take out little tiny hands and pretend he's like half.
I forgot
like,
about
man.
tiny hands.
Yeah,
I need to
tiny
buy
hands
some
are
more of
fun.
those.
Yeah, so like people will come to a show just to enjoy your personality and just not intend on buying, and they don't want to chat. They just like maybe they're taking a bath and their hands are wet, and they're just there's a lot of reasons they might not be writing in the chat. I
Probably
wouldn't
what
take
it is. You
personally.
probably have dozens of people taking baths with wet hands.
Look, some
who don't
people
wanna
are
interact.
literally waiting to see if something pops up that they want, and that's the truth. I mean, sometimes they never, they're not as frugal of they're more frugal of a buyer, and
Yeah.
they just want to wait for that one item.
If people don't
That's
know
fine,
who
too.
I am when I go in a live, I don't say anything usually. I just chill and watch. Like, I don't really interact. Naturally, like, but most of the time, if we're going into like a Dibdit auction, everybody's like, hey, Carrie, or hey, hey, Dave, or oh, Kevin, oh, you're the best, whatever kind of malarkey.
It's because I'm
they-
nice to people. I talk to people. You
No,
learn their
well, I'm
first
nice. I'm
names,
not
you
saying
chat
I'm
with
not
them.
nice to them. I'm just saying, like, we can't go in and like not be social because we know that people
Yeah.
are going to talk to us.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I don't mean that negatively.
You're right,
Yeah.
which is why I do
eBay,
God
by the
mode
way,
sometimes.
eBay is dead right now. I'm assuming,
Well, listen,
correct?
No,
eBay,
it's on
Cowtown
fire.
Picker
It's
said
dead, right?
when listing on eBay, is it better to use the AI tool for item description or just make a short and sweet description? Also, when deleting and relisting on eBay, is it better to relist or sell similar? It's better to
I
sell
would take
similar.
the pictures. I would
Wait a
take the
minute,
pictures,
and
your
nobody
eBay
does
pictures,
eBay on
and I
here.
would put
Why
them.
are you
I-
answering this?
No, let me answer. I would take those pictures and I would put them on Dibdit.com.
I think it's better to sell similar. I think that's been proven. And I don't think the description matters.
I think
Unless
sell
it's something very
similar,
specific.
Yeah, I think-
change the title, make it better, change the
I don't
price.
think description matters either. Who reads descriptions in 2025 on eBay? You
Dude,
have
I heard
pictures.
there was a
Pictures
big-
or descriptions?
I heard there was a big hubbub about the sell similar button going away.
I didn't
It
get to answer the
disappeared.
description question.
Okay, answer
Well,
it.
we're the
I don't-
eBay daddies right now.
I don't use
Okay,
AI
wait.
descriptions. That's it.
Well, Kevin, have you heard about the sell similar button going away?
Yes, but I never saw it. Now, there was a day where I didn't list
disappeared.
anything, which never
It disappeared,
happens.
they say. That would have really affected my eBay reselling because sell similar was the only way I listed.
Yeah, that's all I list. But I haven't seen it. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't every. I don't know. I still have.
The only problem with sell similar is the title was never correct. So like
You
when
fixed
people were
the title.
buying stuff, what?
You fixed the title.
What? Okay, so
Playing dumb. I'm
You
playing
make
dumb.
it
So-
better.
here's the thing that came up on the locker room. I thought it was interesting. Beard King was saying that for like a week or more, Amazon stopped promoting the FBA items, fulfilled by Amazon items, and instead was actually doing what was good for the consumer and putting the cheapest items in the buy box.
Yes.
So we're getting our
That's
reselling
actually-
news now from the locker room. Is this a good idea?
Listen, this isn't just recent. You guys got to keep up. This was number 2 on my list, for goodness sake. All right,
And
go
I
ahead,
brought
Rick.
it up because I did keep it.
I tried
And
to
so
bring it up
I think,
earlier.
Yeah, okay.
Timestamp it down below.
You did.
Go ahead.
You brought up a lot of other stuff too.
Yeah,
But
you're
anyways,
going on
we're
about
at it now.
stuff.
Can we talk about it, or should we fight about who brought it
Sure.
up?
No, you talk about it because I'm not terribly
Okay.
knowledgeable about Amazon.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk about it. So basically, if you send stuff into Amazon, they ship it for you. That's called FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. It costs money to ship it to them. It costs money for them to hold it. But at the same time, you can list higher because they always would give the buy box to the FBA because it's the thing that ships Prime. Right? So I would sell Metroid Prime Trilogy FBA back in the day for $90, whereas the third-party seller who's doing merchant fulfillment, which means you ship it yourself, was selling it for $39.99. Which is why so many people like Rake and Profit can go and buy the DVDs on eBay, send them to FBA, and sell them at a great profit. Same thing with Caleb Phoenix Resale. Well, the fact of the matter is that's actually not good for the consumer, right? Like, if you're a savvy shopper, you don't click on the buy box and buy the Prime thing. You look at all the other ones listed. You probably can get stuff for half the price often on Amazon. If you actually, the problem is Amazon hides and obfuscates those other items that they're actually really hard to find, even if you're looking for them.
Yeah.
Right? And so supposedly he was saying the theory was that the FTC or someone came down on Amazon and said, hey, you have to show the lowest price, not the buy box, or not the FBA stuff. And they did it for like a week or two, and then they stopped. So I don't know how much that's true.
I don't know either.
What the
Allegedly.
reasoning was.
But the flip side of that coin, because that would be great for FBM sellers, right? Or FBM sellers. That'd be huge. But the flip side of it, if you look at the other argument, and Scott Beard, can't even think of it.
It's a reseller that has a beard,
You're
so
talking about
figure it out.
Bearded
King?
Picker. Yeah, Bearded Picker. Sorry. On Profit Playbook Podcast, he's talking about it too. There's so many more restrictions, and it looks like Amazon, and it may be tied together. If let's say that the what did you say? The FTC?
FBA, fulfilled by Amazon?
No,
FTC,
no.
Federal Trade
FBM,
If
correct?
I get too many letters. FTC can't. If that's true, then Amazon might have to make a decision because they're far more profitable selling the other stuff to just not allow FBM at all. And if that's where they're moving, then it's going to really hurt some sellers too.
This is why I don't do Amazon. This is incredibly boring.
Well, okay,
like-
but no, listen, the fact
If I had to worry, in all seriousness, if I had to worry about this, oh my gosh.
Well, there could
what
be
Kevin
consequences
said
to
there,
eBay sellers.
What Kevin said there is I don't want you to miss it. They charge way more fees if you're FBA than FBM.
Yeah.
So you are literally like selling something for 80
And they're
and
selling
getting
it
like
for a higher
55, right?
They're selling it for a higher dollar on top of it. But if
Exactly.
that's the case, then you're going to see a ton of resellers stop, but then you're going to see a lot more migrate over to eBay.
Yeah,
as
because
well.
like Beard King was saying, why have to skew up everything for Amazon sales and eBay sales and try to track all the different stuff in all the different places? But the other thing, Carrie, is, and Beard King, I'm giving him credit, he brought this up too. Some people have like 6,000 books on Amazon for FBA. So if FBA stops getting the buy box and you have to get them all back, he said it costs $2 a book to ship it back to you, times 6,000 books. So if you wanted to switch to FBM, you're
I
going
would
to send
take a truck to the
$12,000 to get the
warehouse
stuff
before I
back.
paid that.
The tricky thing about FBA, though, is there's also the option to have them destroy it for you.
Yeah.
Because I had to have them do that.
Then
for
they
some of my
resell
stuff.
it. Then they'll
Yeah,
sell it
destroy
still.
it for me for 50 cents. I'm paying them to destroy it for me,
Then
and
they
they're
sell
just
it.
probably selling it. Yeah,
Yeah.
on their
Allegedly.
warehouse deals.
Allegedly.
Alleged,
Was he-
very alleged.
Was he born into the king thing, or was it an election? Because like, how can he just?
No, it was an.
Because you don't elect king, so he just declared himself
in
king.
the world of beards. Well, I voted for him. I did.
So I'm
vote for
saying,
Beard
like, because
King.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of resellers, and we should have some sort of say in this. Kevin, obviously,
There's so many bearded
cherubic
resellers.
over there. He doesn't have a vote because he doesn't have a beard. But I
He's
feel
got
like
that cherubic booty too.
yeah, just,
Completely
I feel like
soft,
all the
silky
beard
smooth.
hair that he would have on his face is on his butt. That's my
Only on
guess.
his taint, actually. Which
Oh
is
yeah,
interesting.
no, that's perineum. Perineum.
dude.
We want to use we want
Picker.
no, yeah, we want to say
Podcast
perineum.
was
It's-
moving in an educational manner, and it,
It
totally
was.
just fell off the cliff in a matter of
Do
3
it well.
seconds.
Then it sounds like you're trying to divert the discussion. It sounds like somebody who has a hairy taint is trying to act like they don't.
Gosh, what is wrong with you two? Have you stopped this damn video?
There's nothing wrong. We've established
we had
in the
28 more
podcast.
minutes,
Look,
dude.
we've established
What
in
the
this
hell?
podcast we can say that. I won't say it again.
It's
I wouldn't
18,
say
Mr.
hairy
Math
taint
teacher,
again on the
18.
podcast. It's wrong.
Gosh,
Okay,
I'm like,
so-
what is going on?
No, we're still going. Brad Black Sheep Society said hypothetical in reference
Wait a
to-
minute. We're still going after
Yes.
that? That
Yes.
did not get recorded, and I didn't say it, y'all. They were
What?
saying you
What,
would have been.
Dude,
banned.
it's a
I would've
part of
kicked
your
you off
body
my
that
site
has
so
hair.
fast. Oh my gosh!
What's wrong with it, dude? It's not. We're not in puritanical
Death
times.
Pile wouldn't say what
okay?
you just
It's
said.
not. It's
What,
not
that you
Plymouth
have a
Rock
hairy
times.
taint?
Calm down. You have a hairy taint. It's okay.
What are we doing?
There's
dude?
nothing wrong with it, dude. I shave mine, but you leave it.
This is
Look, man,
not.
we're not gardeners. You do
Okay,
you.
listen. I have a reselling thing I want to talk
Yeah.
about here. Brad the Black Sheep Society said, hypothetical, in reference to Kevin's Goodwill video about live selling a few weeks back. You get the notifications that Goodwill has applied to sell on Dibdit. What is your internal response? I think he means like in our own head. What do we think when that happens?
I think that sucks. That's what I think. I don't
Really?
like it. Yeah.
I probably think that's cool.
Well, listen,
That
that
was the
leads
initial
into my
knee-jerk
only
reaction.
topic.
It's kind of cool.
Besides Carrie's clout, the only topic that I had on this list, and Mike's Dino Riders, that I didn't talk about, which is the future of sourcing. It's changing so fast, y'all. And if Goodwill does this, because I honestly think it's the best move. Think about Goodwill collecting all this stuff and then taking the high dollar stuff and distributing it to, say, like high dollar stuff, gold and whatever. Selling that on a platform, but it's very limited. And then selling decent stuff on Whatnot, and then everything else goes to the bins. They've cut their labor costs and their property costs in half.
Goodwill should 100% do it. I've always said that in my videos, even historically. I've always said
You're making a
Goodwill
lot
should
of
be.
enemies.
But that's the truth, though. Goodwill, it would be in their best interest if they actually want to get the crazy prices that they ask on stuff, right? If they want eBay or online prices, they're going to have to sell it themselves that way.
Right,
or if they want to move it
massive labor
quickly,
in
they're
that,
going to have to
unless they're selling
exactly.
it live. Unless they're
Yeah.
selling it live.
So I
but
think they
sourcing's changing.
should do it.
I'm telling you, there are still. Well, you went to a lot of thrift stores, Carrie. So there's still places.
Dude, they're a
all
waste
over
of
this
time.
country.
For
But
the most
some
part,
of them,
they are a waste of time.
But there are still places we see them on YouTube where it's still good retail
There's a
thrifting.
few. Yes.
But most of it is at the bins now. If you're going to pay up, you're
the
gonna,
bins
you're
is
not
the
gonna have to
spot
pay
right
up.
now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it seems logical to me that it's going to turn more to that over time. So if we know that logically it seems like this may happen, then we
You're
have
gonna
to we have to adapt,
sourcing
folks.
from the
we're
Goodwill
gonna
Do you
we're
think
gonna
that- do you think
online.
we're
that
gonna source
hits-
somewhere else. We're always gonna have a
It's
place
just
to
so
source.
boring. I just don't.
How long until that hits the average everyday garage sale proprietor, the person running the
sale?
garage sale? How
That they
long
could do
until
that?
it's such a low bar that they're just like, yep, I'll put it on here?
I think we're like a generation away at least, because
I
that's
would
like
I think as much as with anything, I think it'll be very gradual over time. And there's still a lot of people who aren't going to do it. There, this. If
lot of people ain't
everything at a
selling on
garage sale
eBay.
would sell online and you could ship it, it would be sold online. That's what pickers do. They pull
waiting
the
for
good stuff
teleportation
out.
machines where they just put it in a box and it just teleports. They have to do nothing.
So much of
that
garage
actually-
sales just aren't
that's
selling.
legit, Carrie. You're right. That
Like
was
you honestly have to overcome the idea of having to ship stuff. I think that's the big hurdle. Like maybe a picture and selling it people can
Well,
handle.
but imagine
it's,
this, okay? You're in your VR glasses, you're on your
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace, you say garage sale, you take a picture of all your stuff, and if someone wants it, they just click it, and it gets teleported to your house.
Teleported. Now
Yeah,
we're talking serious
teleportation is
here.
required, yeah.
Or like
What are
it
we
could just be
talking
you
about?
have to. Maybe it's just locally, right?
Maybe
you could
it's
do
an
a local.
NFT.
No, yeah, maybe it's an NFT.
Maybe you
Howard.
just get the NFT and the person keeps the item.
you have to physically. You can't destroy the item or the NFT
You
disappears.
have my
Ooh.
pickle keeper NFT. I like it.
Think how much money Kevin would be making with that stuff. No, but here's the thing. In all seriousness, what about like a VR headset where you're looking at the local yard sales and then you're purchasing the items and then you come pick it up? You're within 3 days, like because it's local. Like say here in Palm Coast, somebody had a yard sale. You put your VR headset
Personally, I don't think garage
on. Why couldn't you
sales-
do that?
People
you got
having a
going on
garage
with your
they,
little-
they don't. I just don't see it. I
Dan
could be
in
wrong.
Demand said, long-time listener, first-time question asker. Is that true? If
I
the
don't know who
Dibdit
this Dan
family-
is.
If the Dibdit family had never existed, how much live selling would you be doing on Whatnot? Me, probably 0, because I had stopped doing it. I had quit for like 8 months before I
Really?
went back to live selling. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe a little, but I had quit. I
Like
had
an
quit.
occasional one just to get.
Yeah, every
rid of
now and then.
whatever.
Like I remember, I did a Whatnot of Dibdit pin, or a Disney pin. Sorry.
What if they were paying
because it was very
you?
specific.
What if they were paying you monthly to do it? Would you still? I still think
They
you might
paid me
stop.
monthly a few times, and they were so annoying about it, allegedly, that I would probably still say no. They were all
That's
like,
a tough one for me.
They were
I'd like
just
to think I
obnoxious,
would be doing very,
allegedly.
very little or none, but I could be. I don't know. I'd have to really.
I'd be doing
think
like
about it.
4 or 5 auctions probably a week on Whatnot at this point because the obvious thing I wanted to do was move cards faster because that was my goal. So, but now I'm willing to put a lot of that energy into Dibdit cards. So,
yeah.
Yeah, that's because it's killing it.
You know who did a great
you.
thing as far as like marketing wise? Drew Barrymore. She came out with this line of kitchen appliances called Beautiful.
Ooh, I got something for you.
And they all are like the perfect. They're like becoming popular right at the perfect moment. Like she foresaw this
Foresaw it.
idea. of these kitchens with white and then
sore.
gold accents. So all of these kitchen appliances are white with gold accents, which is like the perfect color for all the kitchens people are doing right now.
It's not
And
outdated
she's
like
priced
the door.
them. She priced them very well too. So they're like priced right. They're at Walmart. I was looking at the toaster today, and it said 1,000 have sold in the last 24 hours of this toaster.
So is she like the new Pioneer
Crazy.
Woman? Remember that
She's like the new
craze?
Pioneer. Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, if that's still
True,
going,
very
if
much.
you find that stuff, people still collect it. But yeah, no, she literally like, and me and Tina like it too. Like Tina keeps buying her stuff. She
I
bought
gotta
her coffee
speaking
maker.
of Tina, I gotta thank Tina because I really bared down on some polish and brush stuff this weekend.
What,
Or
bared
last
down? What do you mean
weekend, I
bared
guess.
down on it?
Well, when
Like when
I,
I'm trying to poop
I,
and it won't come out.
I would, yeah. So I would seek this stuff
He'd
out. And I saw
stolen
a
a bunch of stuff
table
from Sephora?
at this sale with a bunch of perfumes and makeups and creams and all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna sit here for a minute. I'm gonna do a little work, and I found two $350 bottles of perfume.
Woo! Brand new.
One was sealed and one was not.
There's no old. There's no.
That's
You always
right.
tell me there's no old perfume. It's all
Well, I
brand new.
told you that they don't let me. They won't let me list it like that. I did it for years up until just
So
like
how do
6
you
months
sell
ago.
it? You're just gonna sell it on polish and brush now? Why not?
And what flavors?
I will.
People get
Well,
a seal on
the
it.
sealed one I'm going to sell on. I've already got it listed on eBay. It's sealed. Everything's
Yeah.
it's brand
What's
new.
the brand?
So I don't
Bolo
even know.
alert. Bolo of the week.
Yeah,
Bolo of the
tell,
week.
tell us
I'll
the
look-
flavors.
What do I do with my phone? I don't even know what I do with it.
It's
I'll
Kevin's
find it.
body butter.
But there's other stuff, and
Taint
Mike
for
was in and out of there. Mike found Dino Riders, y'all. Actually.
Oh yeah, Dino
I showed
Riders.
him
That's
to
funny
me.
because he was talking about Dino Riders on his leftover podcast, literally like 5 days before he went, and then he found a tote full of Dino Riders, which
Yeah.
is wild.
Well, technically, and I see because people trash me. Oh, he's taking Mike's stuff and whatever. The guy came, brought them out, and put him in front of me. And I said, "Oh, Dino Riders," and I didn't give them to Mike. I mean, the guy wanted a lot of money, but I showed them to him, and he did the deal.
Yeah, Mike paid hundreds for him, I think, but I think it's probably $1,000 worth of Dino Riders.
Do you ever notice that like Kevin cannot
190.
do something nice for somebody without mentioning it publicly ever?
Actually, that was the guy. Well, I got to defend myself. That was your buddy, Dave. That was
My
your
buddy?
buddy. Yeah, it was your buddy who.
I have a lot of buddies.
My
Which
buddy?
was it?
The buddy that you
He's
ticked off in the
alive?
thumbnail that didn't like
The
you.
little doll?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he was very nice, and he was very kind
He
to
is
you.
very
He didn't.
nice,
He
yeah.
didn't. Yeah, he wasn't.
Well, we
trashy.
made up recently. We made up.
Okay.
We're on the up and up. It's all
Yeah.
fine.
That's good.
What am I hearing?
But-
A doorbell?
I don't know,
Dude, is
I gotta
that...
find this.
I heard
gotta
we
find
were
this.
we
Here
were
it
we were
is.
traveling and we heard there's like
Oh.
possibly aliens and stuff off the beaches of Daytona right now.
So I know this name, and I've sold the clothing, but it's Stella McCartney perfume.
Yeah.
1 ounce,
Paul's daughter.
$350, and I've got a watcher on it so far. So we'll see. Just listed it. I'm selling a Blue Yeti microphone that Dave made me buy.
Hey, good. Look at that. Sell it on Dibdit.
Yeah. Yahtzee,
Listen,
you know the little handheld Yahtzees?
I'm
sell
sure
well?
my mic sounds terrible tonight because I'm not using one. But that's all right. People will forgive me. Hopefully. Hopefully.
We have very
Did you
forgiving bunch
do
of
so?
listeners.
Your bolo. You did your bolo. Carrie, do you have a sale of the week that Dawn did? Or you read your eBay off the whole time?
No, eBay was off till like 3 days ago.
Oh, did she sell anything since you turned it back on, or is it still
I don't
doing
know.
that punish you thing?
Did you
You know,
turn
Yeah,
it
no,
off?
she has. I
Punish
don't
you
think
thing?
she's really had any sales. I've sold a few like buy it now things, but nothing crazy.
Did you
Nothing,
turn
like,
it
valuable.
completely off? Like you didn't even accept sales?
No, we didn't accept sales or anything.
Really?
for-
Why? What was your reasoning behind that?
Yeah, that makes no sense. I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't
You
really
hate
think
money?
we thought we
Yeah,
didn't
don't
really
like
think
money.
it through. We didn't really think it
Or
through.
at least turn it back on.
we turned it
as
back
you're
on
coming
like
across.
5 days before we got
Okay,
back, or 4 days before we got back. I'm sure
You know,
she's had a couple sales.
I've stopped.
I haven't checked.
I've stopped turning my store off. Like I've been gone 3
I can
times
check.
already
Let me
this
get my
year
phone.
and haven't turned my store off once. I've had if my wife's
So wait,
home
when
or
you
Jess
but,
is here,
oh, okay, I get you.
they're
So
shipping it, and
it's-
I've made 2 videos now that are just me on the road, like on the way back from Georgia, where I'm answering questions and I'm just showing what's sold because it's already been shipped. I love it.
Yeah, I
Don't
did
shut
that
the store
first,
down.
but that's cool.
No, you didn't do it first, but you did it before
I
me.
did it. Yeah. Okay. Do you have like a comment of the week that's also your job? I mean, I've got it pulled up here. I like to just click held and see what's been held. Nothing's been held. Nothing's been deleted by Kevin.
Because I don't have access to it.
Harry
anymore.
Tornado said, to clarify, I'd also feel okay returning something I didn't buy to a mom and pop shop if it was actually purchased from there and they offered
Really?
returns.
So like, yeah, so
I'd
no,
only feel
no,
bad about
no
this if the
ethics.
item was actually
If-
purchased from
Allegedly.
them or if it's not new in the package with tags.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, but that's not what was said. That's not what Carrie said either. That's why I brought it up.
I don't remember what we talked about.
I have no clue
Re-
what we discussed.
Returning something, if a store is their policy is okay with the return, fine, return it. But the argument of saying it doesn't matter, it's a big business, you can do it to a big business, but not to a mom and pop shop. I don't see there's any delineation. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right.
I like this comment from Cheryl. Kevin, get some medication for your allergies. You make the viewers miserable with your allergy symptoms. Claritin or Zyrtec, please do something. Sad face.
I've tried this episode a few times, if that helps. Kevin, listen to Shabuzi's song Good News. I also feel like I've heard you mention... and Tim took the credit for Shabuzi's. Like, I showed you all that song.
I don't really like Shabuzi, so...
Ooh, Philly
I'll take
Picker.
the
Here's a
credit,
bolo.
Tim.
Speaking of DVDs, Hardcastle and McCormick seasons are worth some money. And you
No,
don't even know
listen,
what they are.
I'm sorry. So Winter Antiques is just humble bragging. Did we talk about mortgage prices? Because they said my mortgage is $855 on a 15-year-old loan, and I'm 31. That's like the whole comment. I'm just
Yeah.
like, were we talking about
My mortgage
mortgages?
is less than $800 a month.
My mortgage is less than $3,000.
Y'all have made...
I don't even have a mortgage, so my payment's the least, so I win. I'm not planning on owning a home, so I win.
Made over the years very sad. He says, I've actually been thinking about this all day today. I don't know what I did that makes people not like me. It's been bothering me all day. Because
Why
they
did we talk about people not liking Tim?
Tim's the best.
Yeah, you did. You said
I
that
did?
Tim was on and the podcast was down that week and people don't like Tim and they made him feel bad. Tim, I
Sorry,
love
Tim.
Tim. Tim's
Tim,
awesome. I
if there's
We all
one
love
thing
Tim.
that can be
Tim's the best.
guaranteed and assured for all of life, I will consistently say something that somehow offends someone and I don't realize or understand why it would offend the person because I am very insensitive.
No,
and
you didn't say it.
don't-
I made all that up, Dave.
I might have said
Bonnie,
it.
Bonnie had a good point to one of your questions. Bonnie says, many teachers are unable to opt out of retirement plans. That's a big reason why they retire with money. If we put money into retirement plans throughout our lives, we would all retire well. In other words, there's too much, 401ks and people withdrawing early and doing all that, and they have access where you cannot have access to those state retirement accounts. Well,
I
you
tried
can
to
technically,
give
but you got to
my
quit.
nephew. I was up in Connecticut, and my nephew's 19. He has a good-paying job. He's doing sprinkler work, which is in construction, and he's union,
do a
so he's
Roth.
making some decent money. And I was telling him about Roth IRAs, and he was like, "Yeah, but I really want a moped, and I just bought this new truck, and I got this monthly payment." And I was like, "Dude, stop making these mistakes. You're so young. Just like now is the time to make the right calls." But I felt like I was wasting my time. Like I don't
Yeah.
think he was listening or hearing me at all.
Well, let me tell
And
you,
it
my
makes you
son
not
has a
even want to
Roth
give advice.
IRA. And
Yeah.
my strategy, because I did a Roth IRA forever, but it was nothing. I had no money. I'd put nothing in it. But the beauty of having the system in place is when you start to make money, you just incrementally bump that thing up. So if it's $25 a month or whatever the lowest you can do, just do it.
Let's do some I want some retirement advice from Kevin in the audience. So if you never really did a Roth, you only did your 401k because you just didn't really know the difference.
I didn't have an
and
option.
and now all of a sudden you have, let's say, what's the max on a Roth, like $7,000 a year or something. Let's say you could put the $7,000. Do you put it in a Roth that is basically zero or a much larger 401k, or does it grow the same regardless?
Your 401k is tied to your business.
Well, it's now a rollover IRA, and you can add to it.
Right. So if you're in a job that does a matching 401k, you need to do that.
Which is
just
why I did
don't
that
have
all those
yeah,
years.
That was the
But my
right
question is
decision.
now, do I put the money into a Roth or do I put it into the 401k? Or the IRA, I mean.
Well, which IRA? Because you
The
can
rollover or the Roth?
Because
Which one
what
do
you
I-
can do is you can put it into an IRA and roll it over into a Roth IRA. I believe. I don't want to. I'm
Wouldn't
not.
I? That'd be a taxable event, though.
It would be a taxable event, but it's not. I don't know the legalities of rolling over 401ks into Roth.